start streaming. And then you'll hear the, once this pops up, we have a little sizzle reel. All right, I think I hit the right button. Okay. Hello. Wow. Welcome, everybody. This is the Flipping Out Pinball stream. If you didn't notice, it's just me. It's just me tonight, as in Jared's not here. I gave my brother the night off. It was a tough week for the Engelberth household. We, unfortunately, Monday was a funeral. We went to our Uncle Jerry, unfortunately, passed away. So this episode is absolutely dedicated to him. Big money, man. He worked in UPS for years and years and years, and we called him Big Money because of all the overtime he'd put in at UPS. But we do miss Uncle Jerry. But it was just your normal, say hi to your loved ones. Enjoy your family. But with all that out of the way, we are doing a Flipping Out with Friends tonight. We have some fun chatting stream going on tonight. We got some fun topics, some fun things to go over, and honestly, we got kind of a new panel, a new group of people that you guys are probably somewhat familiar with, but haven't been on before. So let's go ahead and dive into that. We'll do our typical introductions. We'll start with the the old dog. I don't know. I'm not saying you're old, Mike, but you're the only person that's been here before. What would be the experienced one? The experienced one. How about that?
That hurts because I just turned 50. So
happy birthday, Mike! Happy birthday, man!
But yes, recently over the last couple months.
We're gonna do our normal introduction. Who are you? What do you do with pinball? So what are you linked to? Oh, we just lost. There we go. We're back. We're good.
We're good.
Who are you? What do you do with pinball? And then what was the last game of pinball you played? So go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so I'm Mike from Pinballers. We were off for quite a while, but recently have come back in about last month or so. So we stream like Monday, Wednesday afternoons right now to start. We got some other plans for other things in the near future, which we'll talk about another time. And the last game I played actually was this afternoon. We streamed the John Wick Premium.
Yeah.
So with all the new code updates, we've been streaming between Jaws and John Wick. There's been so many code updates. We've been like streaming back and forth as they get updates.
Yeah, and I know when I checked in with you because it had been a little while, I said, "Do you still have turtles?" Like Mike, you're one of the only people that I know that likes turtles, and you actually you have news with turtles. Something has changed with turtles in your household. Yes.
Yeah, so I actually sold my Turtles Pro and I ended up upgrading to the Premium that you see.
Yeah, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
It's a great game.
We're going to talk about Turtles a little more tonight, but that is something that's always been on the back of my head. Like, do I want to change? I still have my Pro. It's still at my parents' house, but do I want to upgrade? Is the Premium worth it? I don't know. And I'm curious to hear what chat, and I'm curious to hear what other people's here in the call, what their thoughts are on Turtles. But that we will talk about Turtles tonight. We will talk about Turtles tonight for sure.
But that guy, don't underestimate it if you haven't played the new code or anything. It's very good.
John
very
Wick.
Good.
So the AI bad guys, you don't miss them? That's what I'm hearing?
No. I mean, I've always liked John Wick. Okay. I even liked it with the code that it first came out with. This code now, though, has made the game more fun. Like multipliers in games, like I really like that kind of stuff, setting up multipliers and then multiplying your multipliers, if that makes any sense, that sort of stuff, right? So you can do that kind of stuff now, and modes are easier to finish, and then when you finish modes, you get like pretty powerful perks that help you for the rest of your game as well. So they still haven't put wizard modes in. There's inserts there that are just waiting to be filled with modes and wizard modes, but
hey, more to come, right?
Soon. More
to come. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Mike, for being here. And just to check, it's 10 p.m. your time, right? 10 p.m. your time?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Perfect. So that's a great transition to our next guest. Brand new to the show, not brand new to pinball, but Enzo, just not to be confused with Gonzo. Different person, different person. But Enzo, feel free to introduce yourself. What do you do in pinball? What was the last game of pinball you played? And just a real quick check. What time is it for you right now?
It's 10 a.m. I'm in Perth, Australia.
10 a.m.
So
Yep.
I live in the most isolated city in the world. I'm about 4,000 kilometers from the west coast, like Melbourne and Sydney, 5,000 k's. So yeah, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay, well, thank you. I hope your Wednesday night was great because I appreciate you joining us on Thursday morning. But I don't know if you know, for whatever reason, here on the Flipping Out Pinball stream, it seems like a large majority of the giveaways that Zach does, they end up going to Mike in Canada, or they end up in Australia. And what I don't know if you have fellow Australians that are watching on their lunch break or what, but they just keep winning stuff, and it's awesome. It makes me laugh so hard. But yeah, Enzo, tell me about yourself. Tell me about the channel that you participate in and everything.
Yeah, thanks. So I've been playing pinball for a very long time. Probably the last 10 years, I got really back into it again. I assist Gonzo, Chris, on Gonzo's Flipperama. I basically was just a big fan of the channel, and me and him got along really well. And I was basically just started talking to him on Facebook, and one thing led to another. And he does social media content full time for West Ham United, the football team, or soccer, as you guys like to call it. So he's a busy man and very hard to pin down. And organizing interviews and doing that. So I've been doing it now for probably a couple of years. More and more organizing all the big interviews with your George Gomez's and all that type of stuff. And yeah, really enjoying it. I was heavy into vintage toys and retro gaming. And then about 5 years ago, I walked into my garage, which had everything in storage, and I was like, what am I doing? And had, a couple $100,000 worth of stuff sitting in tubs, and just kind of, it's not stuff that you can really play with and share with the family. I had a near complete vintage Ninja Turtle toy collection. And my personality is a completionist, and I couldn't, there was 4 Ninja Turtles, which were the undercover Ninja Turtles, and to get them sealed and carded, they were like $20,000 each.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm never going to do that. And it just got to a point where I was like, I'd like to sell everything and just buy some pinballs. And then one thing led to another. So that's basically where I come in. And we run a little community over here to try and grow pinball. Being isolated doesn't really help. And we've only got kind of like one arcade that you can really go and play pinball at. Which is a cool arcade. There's like 30 games. We're just, what we do is try and do like a pop-up event every 3 months. We bring 30 games to like a community center, run a 3-day event, and just, try and get more kids and more women especially into the hobby. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
That's awesome. Collection wise, what type of what games do you have, or how many games do you have?
It floats. Like,
yeah, sure.
I was very heavy in modern Sterns when I first started, and also because I'm not a tinkerer, I'm not good with like maintenance and all that type of stuff. I got scared off on like old EMs and stuff like that, and then I went through phases where I'd buy some older ones, and then I've got to sell money. I sell games to bring in games, right?
Sure.
So or trade. So things from Sterns to JJPs to Spookies. So between me and a friend, as we share a space, there's about 30-40 games.
Oh wow, okay, that was not the answer I was expecting, but that's awesome, man. That's exciting.
And at home there's like 8 games at home.
Yes, that's awesome. I just squeezed in my 5th game into the basement. We had to do some moving some stuff around, but I now have 5, with one of those 5 always being one that I'm sharing or like streaming for Zach. So that's awesome. Hey Kaz, thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you, man. That's awesome. And I know one of the 8 is it's Uncanny X-Men, right? Is one of your yeah. And I know just recently you interviewed Mike Finnecore, right? About X-Men.
Just last night. I'm hoping to get that up in the next few days. I wanted to sit down with Mike because he's such an interesting character. Yeah. And he used to do Midway Gaming and making. He was heavily involved in the Mortal Kombat franchise. I did not know that. And he's such a really he could talk for hours. Yeah, so we spoke a bit about obviously Wick and X-Men, probably a little bit more on X-Men. But yeah, that was really interesting. You know, they've got some big plans. And with X-Men, you know, trying to give those modes, you know, he kind of ran me through what he's aiming to do with those modes and giving
cool.
each mode kind of like a individual personalities and making them a little bit different, because at the moment they kind of all feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, it's just hit the shots to end those modes. And with Wick, there wasn't much, like he really liked the skeleton of Wick. It was just more making it a little bit user friendly, because that play field and layout is really brutal, right? Like it's especially if you're a novice player or a casual player, sorry. And just we talked through that, and yeah, it's gonna be a great chat.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that. You probably noticed right behind me, I have an X-Men LE. It's the only LE I own. I got it used from Zach, and I'm riding that train. I'm excited to see. It's weird feeling like the game is kind of started over in a way, and I'm excited to just ride that through. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. But hey, thank you so much for being on here. I'm very curious because I'm seeing Chuckwurt. So it's Eric Chuckwurt. It's Wurtenberger's his real name, but I'll be calling him Eric or Chuck or Chuckwurt all night. I think he's frozen. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He's here. He's here. It's just his video
I
is
just wanted
frozen.
to make sure you guys were seeing that before I keep camera on and off. Yeah.
Okay.
He's froze again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try
So
again.
I can hear you. There you go.
Okay.
You're great.
All right.
You're great.
So I
now.
might just have to keep doing that throughout the thing. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess with anything until I made sure you guys could see that too.
No, you're good. I mean, luckily you were frozen and like you looked like just everything we were doing was funny
Yeah.
because you were happy. Yeah, sweet. Okay, Chuck. Well, while your camera's working, please. Who are you? What do you do? What was the last game of pinball you played?
Yeah, so Eric Wurtenberger, I go by Chuckwurt online, so you should see me everywhere, whether it's Reddit or Pinside or otherwise. Chuckwurt everywhere. So yeah, I am a CP here in Northern Kentucky, and I've been into pinball since about 2014 or so a little over 10 years. And yeah, I got started just collecting, and then I found competitive pinball shortly after that, and that really got me into pinball. So that's when I started to get a lot more games, and then met Zach and Greg shortly after that, and they're trying to get streaming together, and I just got into streaming, so that's how I got into the straight down the middle pinball streaming. I think they had some grand plans early on to have a bunch of people streaming and things like that, and it kind of didn't end up happening, so I've just been keeping it alive over the years and mainly doing tournament streams now, but we'll throw up the individual stream here and there, but not nearly as much as I used to. So, but yeah, that's how I got into pinball. And so last game I played, we just had League at my house last weekend, and we were playing pretty late. I'm trying to remember what the last dollar game was on. I think it was King Kong. So, and I did pretty well. Got like 500 million. So took that one down.
Eric, you didn't tell me it's Eric with a K. Somebody in the chat just.
That's all right.
There we go.
Right.
Fixed.
Yeah,
Boom.
someone chat.
Yeah,
corrected.
somebody in
Nice.
chat. Boom, got it.
Thanks for the assist, chat.
Well, what I know Chuck for a few reasons. One, his deep love for big game, which is behind him. You see that he feels that's probably your favorite game or close to. It's
Yep. Yeah, it's one of the first games I bought, and it's one I learned how to work on. You know, like I cut my teeth on, fixing games. I've since replaced the playfield with a new one. Like, so yeah,
it's all big game.
Near and dear. Yeah.
For whatever reason, Stern sold this little like plexiglass big game thing, and immediately when I saw it, I sent a link to Chuck. I was like, "Hey," and I think you were like done, like just like instantly.
I think I was like the only person that like pre-ordered one of those, because now they're like sending those in like the free gift things that they give people, like because I'm probably the only one that actually bought one.
Yeah, it's worth it. And then another thing you're known for is it's like a 6-hour tutorial on Game of Thrones. Is that right?
You're like halfway there. It's like close to 11
hour tutorial on Game of Thrones. You love that game, and that I mean, that's as somebody that's I dove into making tutorials. Now I cheap out. I take the glass off and start throwing that ball around. But I try to explain as much as I can in a concise way. While you did the opposite. You explained Game of Thrones in as much possible depth as you can, and it's insane. It's incredible. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's the first new game I bought, so I didn't have many games at home, and I just played the hell out of it. I think I put over 10,000 plays on it, like by myself. So I always had this idea, Bowen has these tutorials there. They're amazing. I kept seeing that, Bowen was always like, here's the best way to play this game to maximize points, like for him or whatever. And I just couldn't do those. I wasn't good enough.
Yep.
So I want to see one where you literally learn everything, every single aspect, every single rule. And I picked like one of the most complex games ever to do that with. So, but it was fun. I, eventually, I did the whole series on the Pro, and then I eventually got the Premium and added some videos for that. And yeah,
it's nuts. Time. And I'm assuming you've talked to Dwight about. I mean, you must know that game just as deep as Dwight. It's incredible. It's so very well done.
Yeah. So it's cool. I got to know Dwight over the years from that game. So yeah, it's been awesome getting to know him and all the other games he's made. We've talked back and forth on those too, so that's been awesome.
That's awesome. And I know, and Zach's here in chat. Zach actually mentioned, I forgot, that you were in on a Stranger Things LE, and you were one of the first people that like you fixed the TK lock, and you were there to help everybody. Like you were the go-to resource on anything Stranger Thing problems as well. So way to commit, man. Way to dive in on these games. Yeah. Well, cool. Then and I'm Joel. I do the Flipping Out Pinball stream. I also do the Triple Drain Pinball podcast. Last game I played was Jaws. I've been playing the heck out of Jaws. This is the Jaws 50th that Zach dropped off last week. So I'm playing the heck out of it while I can. And yeah, man, what I love about that game is the fact that when you hit start, it's like, how do you want to play it? Do you want to play it normal? Do you want to play it co-op? Do you want to play the 8-bit mode? Do you want to play the topper mode? Like, what do you want to do? And it's awesome. It's awesome. Really, really, really enjoying that game a lot. And then I've been playing, obviously, the heck out of X-Men with the new code and everything like that. So, yeah, things are good. Stuff we can dive into. The first topic that I kind of want to dive into is my buddy Derek. Shout out to Derek. He's meeting with, we have a retro, and this is great because I just heard Enzo's into retro gaming. There's a retro gaming store in town. And so this retro gaming store, I think, has like 2 or 3 arcade 1-ups. So Derek's trying to approach him to see if he could put pinball machines there on location. So he was asking initially, like, what games do you think would fit well on at this location? So I had some thoughts. I'm thinking retro gaming. I said, honestly, you're going to hate it, but a Gottlieb Mario Brothers would probably do pretty well at that site. But he's struggling there on, he wants it to be a place that players want to go play, but also like you can't put games that don't fit the setting too. So I'm very curious, chat, let's say if you were going to put 3 or 4 games at a retro gaming place, what are you thinking? If any of you, maybe we'll just go around real quick, Mike, what pops into your head when you think you had a buddy that approached you, hey, what games should I put?
Yeah, so you're right in that. Actually, there's a YouTuber, Retro Rick. He actually owns a game store called. He has a channel for that too, Retro Rick's Game Point or something like that. And he has a Mario pinball inside his store. Okay. So Mario definitely would be up there. I mean, you're gonna get crossover from video games like Star Wars, Stranger Things, even like Dungeons and Dragons, it's the sci-fi, fantasy, that kind of stuff that kind of, moves into the video game realm as well, I think would do well. I don't necessarily think at a pinball arcade, maybe some of those games might not do as well, but I think Star Wars is pretty solid no matter where it is on location. It usually makes pretty good money, I think, but I'm not a route owner, so I don't know. But.
Well, we're gonna end with Chuck, who's actually routing games, so he's gonna answer this. He knows everything, right? He knows exactly what to say. I like Trash Can Ninja's answer: 4 Evil Deads. 4 Evil Deads. It looks like Kaz was right on what you were saying, Mike, which is Star Wars Pro, Deadpool Pro, Stranger Things Pro, Turtles Pro,
all that sort of perfect games. Perfect games for like retro video game stores. They have retroness to them, that sort of thing.
I think Deadpool like. Everything about it's 8-bit. So, and it's easy. Like, it doesn't break. What I mean is that's a good game to route, right? Deadpool. But Enzo, what are your thoughts? What popped into your head when you think of games?
I mean, look, if they're doing it for just to have as a compliment and it's not to kind of like start an arcade side hustle and make money, and
Sure.
maybe the demographic is there to like grow pinball. You got to be a little bit careful. As much as I love Turtles, my kids
It's
play
hard.
it and get demoralized by the score. And the score, I said to Dwight, I said, dude, the next thing you do, you just need to fix scoring on Turtles. I don't care like anything else, just fix it. But like when we do that little pop-up event, and obviously we connect all the games to Insider Connect, and then one of my guys that I'm friends with makes like his own Insider Connect for the games that are not on Insider Connect.
Okay.
And the data always shows like Stranger Things is the number one, like when it comes to play. That draws everyone in. Doesn't matter what age or what, whether you're male, female, or whatever. Definitely Mario, I think would be really cool. There is that obviously issue with maintenance and stuff. X-Men, as much as like it is just one of the best looking games and the shots are so unique. I think definitely personally, and then Deadpool,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think Deadpool really makes a lot of sense. David Van S is in chat. He said Dune. David, great game, man. I'm really excited to see where Dune ends up because I'm already enjoying where it's at. Eric, you have a Dune, right?
Well, I'm just waiting on Zach to. I think maybe in the next month. He says it's going to be ready for me to pay up and get shipped. But yeah, I'm pumped.
Pay up and get shipped. That's awesome, man. I'm excited for the 6-hour tutorial you're going to make on Dune. So it's going to be great. But
don't
Chuck,
have much time as I used to.
yeah. So you have you said this was behind the scenes, but you said you've been routing games for roughly 7 months, right? Is that right?
Yep.
So
yeah, I put 2 games on location middle of January. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you have the floor. What's been your overall experience so far? What have you learned? What mistakes or what's working well? What are your overall thoughts on your routing experience so far?
Yeah, so I'll say the location I picked, it's a bar that has a brewery brand on it. It's not an actual brewery, but a brewery opening a bar near where I'm at. I'm really close with the head brewmaster there, and he had told me, hey, we're going to open a spot up by you. We want some games in there. Can you bring them? And I said, absolutely. Got a really good deal. They're giving me 100% of the take. I can take the games out whenever I want. They can tell me to take the games out whenever they want. So it's a really, really good deal. I will say that it's a, slow location, not many going there at all. So I'm truly in the area of, purely non-pinball people. That's the only activity I'm seeing, like very low, like insider connected use even.
Okay.
So it's a very true, just kind of random location, if you will. So I put a Venom Pro and a Jaws Pro in there.
Okay.
So, some months are super slow, other months are okay. But again, I was out of space at home, so free storage, like 100% of the take. So even if it's a little bit, it's more than to be making at home. So it's been worthwhile for sure. The main things I would recommend would probably be just make sure you get an agreement with whatever location you're doing. It can be something super simple. I have something real, simple that I had them sign and whatever. Just make sure that they understand liability if the place burns down, stuff like that. You can put something real simple together, but just make sure you have something in place if something goes awry.
What's your price per game? Somebody in chat asked it. Or pinball.
So I just did the standard, like Stern, $1 a play,
okay.
3 plays for $2. That seems to be fine.
Okay.
I thought about doing like, we'll do 50 cents for this whole month, but I'm not really seeing, enough play to like really warrant something like that. And it's getting fairly steady play anyway. So I don't really think anything like that would be worthwhile, but you can play around with stuff like that. It's kind of one of the things that I wish Insider Connected would advance a little bit further so we could change that stuff remotely or set stuff on timers,
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's kind of getting into the weeds a little bit, but as far as games,
how often do you clean your machines? Zach asked that.
So with it being fairly low play location, I'm in there at least once a month, just checking on things. And if I'm not seeing ball trails, things like that, just like if I was at home, But like once I start seeing that stuff, I'll give it a quick wipe down, and then everything's good to go. And then I make sure everything's tightened down. Flippers are still strong, all the shots are registering, all that kind of good stuff. Because one of the nice things about Insider Connected, if that's the games you're going to put on location, is they got tech alerts that'll come out. I'll have Switch alerts come in sometimes, but it's kind of more due to a bunch of noobs were playing all day and they didn't hit XYZ shot enough, and then I'll see in 2 days that it goes away, because somebody else was hitting it, something like that. So that is kind of nice about some of the Insider Connected features.
So between Venom and Jaws, even play, or is one dominating the other, or what are your...
At times it's even, but so far Jaws has been about 2-1 plays to Venom.
2-1. Yeah.
If I were to guess, like over the whole 7 months, at least 1.5 to 1 Venom, Jaws is getting played more. They're right next to each other. One, you kind of like Jaws, you walk by, so maybe some like people are seeing that first and playing it, and then not moving on to Venom. I'm not really sure, but Jaws is definitely getting played more. But as far as games, for this retro place, I really like when you said Super Mario Brothers. That was honestly the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
So I get some people are weirded out by maybe more maintenance with that, but if you take a Mario home, shop it out completely, it's 100%, flippers rebuilt, all this stuff, those Gottliebs are tanks. Like the reason why a lot of those Marios that you get are beat up is because they've been on location for 1 billion years and they haven't stopped, So don't shy away from Gottliebs is all I'll say. Like if you put the same kind of work in, I know they're a little bit different, but they'll last just like anything else.
So we had a bar, unfortunately it shut down, but Sinking Ship, it was nearby, and I think they routed, it was either 7 or 8 games. And I remember talking to the guy that was routing the games, and he was so annoyed because he's like, he had Batman 66 and a Star Wars Premium, and I think he had TNA. It was a bunch of Modern Sterns, like all Modern Sterns. And then he had Space Jam and Mario, like Gottlieb Mario. And he's like, Space Jam and Mario are in the top 3 every week. Every week. And he's like, they're the worst. Like they would do pinball tournaments. Obviously, like nobody would play him during the pinball tournament, but just for a normal bar crowd, he was so like, he hated that. He hated that Space Jam and Mario constantly were the top 2 pins. And it just really, really tells you how important theme is. What you guys had said earlier about Stranger Things, though, and I think Kaz will back me up on that. Kaz has had one, or used to have one. Yep. Stranger Things crushes on location.
Yeah, there's not a single person I've talked to that said it doesn't earn well. So that's huge. If you got a Attack from Mars or a Medieval Madness sitting at home, they're gonna crush. I think Turtles does pretty well, even though it's so brutal. Because of the theme, it just carries it. And Stranger Things is pretty brutal in that, and that still does well. But yeah, to a lesser extent, Turtles. I'm just trying to think of games when I was trying to decide which 2 I wanted to put on location. They like Stern's Earn, So I'd stick with the pros. Like if you're just dipping your toes in, there's zero reason to get a premium. It's zero. So just put that theme on location and see what happens. And then if things grow, I was going to ask you, your buddy's just going to put games on location or thinking about it. Is it going to be 1? Is it going to be 3? Could they do 10,
I think he was saying like 4, I think is what he was shooting for.
Okay.
And now he's in that situation where he's got so many that it's he doesn't want to get rid of them.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't mean this to be rude, like mean, but it's like he's got almost every JJP game. So I made the comment. I've heard that Toy Story does very well on location.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
So he's like, "Ooh, I have a Toy Story." He actually has a Toy Story CE, and because he got them cheap, he got all these CE. So it's like he's like, I think that might be a no-brainer. Like, so that's kind of crazy. You're saying Stern's Earn, go with the pro, and then all of a sudden Derek may be putting a Toy Story CE, but I honestly think it's gonna do well. I think it would do well at that location.
I agree.
Yeah.
If he's willing to do that and put that on location, and with it being a retro gaming store, I don't think there's going to get a whole lot of like pinhead foot traffic. Like there's a comic book store near me that has an amazing collection for public play, and nobody is ever in there because that's his overflow from his house, and he doesn't really advertise, and so he puts a lot of the nice games in there too, but they don't get a ton of play. So I would like, especially if you got that Toy Story, cheaper, then I would definitely do that. I mean, that's an easy call in my opinion.
Okay.
It won't get beat up either, like in a store or anything like that. Like, in an arcade, you get people who, they get frustrated with the game or whatever, and they'll bang on it or shove it or whatever. But typically in a game store, you're just going to get more people out of curiosity playing. I mean, because typically, of course you'll get the odd person who's like, oh yeah, I love pinball. I play pinball here. I do this, whatever. Sure. But for the most part, people who are going to come in and play it are going to be either playing it for the first time or for the first time in a long time, and are going to be more curious and casual with the game. So they'll probably actually be more gentle with the game instead. Like, we know nudging and all that sort of stuff, right? Yeah. So I would say even a collector's edition would probably do well.
Would be okay. Or safe. It's not
atmosphere like safely. Yeah, as far as like because I've always when it comes to like actual barcades and whatnot, I've always questioned why put an LE in your barcade, or premiums I can understand because of the different features, but there are some who put LEs and CEs and stuff, and I always wonder why would you put one of those on location? But in a store like that, it's a different story, I think.
I've heard. Well, I heard there's different. I think there's some cost things with like LEs. You have a set price, but then if it's going to go on location, you can wiggle. There's some wiggle room there on the price. But even still, it's when you see a bar or an arcade that's all LEs, it's really like, man, that's a labor of love, or you're just willing to lose some money to put that on there. But Kaz, I see you're in chat here. I have a Led Zeppelin Pro on location. It's a good earner with casual. Interesting. Kaz, I saw in chat here that he has a Toy Story and a Harry Potter on route right now. So I'm curious, just overall earnings, comparing those two, because they're both great kid friendly themes. Yeah, people only play for 3 to 4 minute. Theme wins every time. Yeah, and get the Pro. All right. Enzo, I do want to ask you, as an Australian, I feel bad because I know you guys are a little behind in a way. Like, it takes, like, Harry Potter, there isn't a Harry Potter in the country of Australia, is there? Like, do you?
The distributor just got his one.
Okay.
Right? Just a couple weeks ago. But yeah, there isn't, obviously, that's the only one in Australia.
Okay. So where are you? What's the latest Stern that you've been able to play?
King Kong landed last week.
Last week, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And there was a huge delay with D&D. So D&D obviously got announced at the end of December. We didn't get D&D till May.
Oh wow. Okay.
And normally it's 3 months with Sterns. Because AMD are a pretty big distributor over here for Stern, so they do the best to get them here as soon as possible. But there is normally a 3-month delay. And with the cost of shipping and everything after COVID, trying to maximize containers and everything, so sometimes there are delays. I mean, that's just normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Evil Dead, the Australian ones are being finished, I think, this week, and then they'll go in a container. So we'll get those September. But that's a different beast, right? Because obviously, even you guys, a lot of, however, they might be up to number 400 Evil Dead. I don't know what they're up to, but, the end of the queue isn't necessarily going to get their games now. So, but for the mass produced stuff like Stern does, we are behind. Far more than what you guys are, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I was curious, Stringer Films, thank you for the super chat there. He's saying if he wins a giveaway, please send it to you, Enzo. So it's I'm curious, as a pinball consumer, even Canada, there's a little bit of delay, a little bit, Mike. I know it's not crazy, but maybe a little.
It may be a week or something like that. Not really. Yeah, it's not too bad.
But that's where I'm. and even I know, we have some European friends that same thing. They're waiting to get that game. So I feel like we're spoiled in a way because Stern reveals something, JJP releases something, and there's a good chance that if you try, you could get to that machine within a week, 2 weeks. They're going to get them on location. Like you can get there, you can flock to it. And I just don't know. Like, do you limit the amount of media you can like Enzo? Do you like not even look at King Kong's stuff? Do you like just sit on it for 3 months and then now that they're there, now you dive into all that material, or you just kind of sit there and wait patiently?
I'm too addicted to the
Yeah.
hobby. Like as soon as there's like a live stream or there's interviews,
Yeah.
like I'm all over it. And obviously because we do the interviews, like we had Keith on like the week the game was out, and
Yeah.
I'm too impatient for that. I do like flying blind for things like movies where I don't watch movie trailers because I really want to just go in and fly blind. But there are some things where by the time we get a game, things like I'm sure by the time like Dune gets here or Predator or Evil
Yeah.
Dead, the game's completely different to the way you guys streamed it 6 months ago. So we probably get, one of the benefits is we get a really refined game nearly finished, right?
True.
By the time we get it. Look, it is what it is. JJPs, there was a question in chat that Bond asked. There's still a bit of a delay getting JJPs. I think like Avatar, my Avatar didn't get here till I think the game came out in October, was it? When Expo was on around that period.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so we didn't get it till February. And obviously, our games have different power and all that. But again, it's kind of prioritizing you guys, and then we get a shipment. It's kind of like, if you really want your game, I'm sure a lot of these guys will air freight them if you're happy to pay to get it air freighted, I guess. But yeah, I think. Look, it is what it is, right? Like,
yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's not going to change overnight. But I was very curious because what I'm learning is we actually have Australian viewers. So I'm just the pain of waiting or patiently waiting, or kind of living vicariously through the streams while you wait for 3 months. But yeah, it's tough. I'm fortunate, working with Zach, that he's so quick at getting the games to us to stream. But then, I'm streaming the latest code. I'll be honest, when I streamed Bond, it was tough because Bond didn't feel complete. And now Bond is a completely different game. I know same thing with making some of the tutorial videos. I feel like there's a chance some of the tutorials I make could be outdated 6 months out. Like the X-Men tutorial that I made is one of our leading videos on the Flip Out channel, and it's kind of outdated at this point. Like, should I be waiting and making a tutorial round 2 kind of thing? So, first world problems, though, right? That that we're playing a game before the code's complete. But yeah, man, it's good stuff. But it's just cool that the hobby is literally a global hobby that everybody's enjoying. Some just delayed. That's all.
I have a question for Enzo. I had someone in chat today from Australia when we were playing, and they mentioned that an LE costs 28,000 Australian dollars. Is that correct?
No. So a LE Stern is around the $21,000 Australian.
Okay, because I thought that Canada and Australia were on par, close with the dollars. So yeah, that's about what we pay for an LE around here, close to that.
So a JJP CE is close to 26,000.
Yeah,
that's $bucks, right?
$bucks.
Dollar dues.
Yeah.
And a Stern premium is about 16 grand.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're about 14.5 for a premium, so it's close. Yeah.
Eric's a CPA, so you work in $bucks all the time, right, Eric? Or no, you just?
Oh yeah. I'm always crunching them numbers.
That's great.
But what's Australian and Canadian to US right now?
Let's check it out.
like
Aussie to
one.
USD.
7.3 is the
Oh, so-
exchange rate right now.
Oh wow!
The Australian dollar
For
is
I was gonna say.
0.64. 0.64 is the
Oh
United.
wow!
One
So
Australian dollar is
Australian dollar's a little
0.64.
lower than
Yeah.
Okay.
That was. I was gonna think I was gonna be closer to 8.5, but yeah. That makes sense then.
So what did you
For how
say it
much
was? What's a CE cost? You said
So CE is around 26 grand, 25, 26
26,000.
grand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see if we can do math on stream. Times 0.63. So 16.3. Yeah, you said 16. Okay. Well, that here is 15, right? Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
what are you? But that includes the shipping. That includes all that. Like that's all in.
That includes
price?
the taxes. The shipping's another $300-400 on top of that.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, it's the
We
same
have
for
a-
going across the whole world as it is to go a couple states over for us.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So like with Stern, obviously AMD just pays to ship the games across, and the
I see.
shipping is absorbed into the RRP, right? But then to move the game, because all the games go to Sydney and Melbourne. So for me to get that game, which is 5,000 kilometers away, I've either got to get a guy that runs a van and travels all around Australia, which is about $800, or I can use like a TNT, FedEx, or whatever, and that's $400.
Okay, that makes sense. Like once it's
but the game will
there,
probably-
that's the additional.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I don't know how it is in Australia, so maybe you can also attest to this or not, but all of our distributors in Canada charge US dollars. Like when asked how much a game is, they tell us $7,000 for a pro, and then we have to pay whatever the exchange rate is at that time. $7,000. Like they will convert it into Canadian, but it's always whatever $7,000 US is worth on that day.
Yeah.
Then you pay that rate.
Yeah, no,
Plus, they tack on a couple points like every bank and everywhere else does too, right? For exchange.
Yeah.
But so
No,
like
over here, everything is Australian dollars. It's I used to work a long time ago at Bose, and we would constantly be getting compared to like a Bose lifestyle system was 8,000 over here, and people would be like, "Oh, but you can buy it for 3,000 or $3,000." Not realizing that there's a local distributor, there's warranty. We have a very strict ACCC over here that is basically a consumer protection law that and like your lemon laws type of thing. So, everything gets done through Australian dollars, Australian invoicing. It's I just saw in chat. Yes, I did mean from Melbourne to Perth, it's around $800, whatever it is. The good thing about living on the east coast of Australia, everything's close. Like it's an hour to one city, it's a couple hours to another one, and everything's pretty, accessible. But Perth is very isolated, unfortunately.
Cool.
Yeah, but Mike made a good point there. So like, let's say you got a Pulp Fiction LE and you ordered it in Australia. You could have waited up to 2 years for that, and you wouldn't have, I don't think, paid in full for it until it's a few months away or whatever. So in those types of situations, are they saying, okay, it was X Australian, now it's Y because it's been 2 years, and the exchange rate's different now?
Look, I think that comes down to the distributor. I didn't have that with my Pulp Fiction. Like we ordered it, I paid a deposit, and then basically, from memory, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I mean, unless I didn't check my emails. And
that could be distributor to distributor. They decided, well, we'll lock it in no matter what, and then fine. Okay.
I do know, like even with Stern recently, there was a slight price rise over here, but they just did it on the next game. They didn't do it on the games that had just landed. So King Kong went up a couple $100 from memory. But AMD had held pricing for a long time as well, so there hadn't been a price rise for a while. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
No, you're right. That was the way it was here too. Stern kind of froze things from, I feel like, Godzilla through King Kong, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I have to remember there was a game that people were pre-ordering, and then maybe it was Guns N' Roses. And then they changed the pricing on it. It started at one price, and then they raised the price by like 500 US or something like that. And anybody who had it on order, who didn't get theirs yet, would have to pay the extra $500. And I think, was that also on an Elvira, I want to say?
Yeah, they
did
kind of
something
did
like
that,
that? Yeah.
like during COVID when stuff was going crazy.
Yeah.
They kind of did that across the board almost, at least at Stern, where you could have been waiting on a Led Zeppelin or like a whatever, and then they eventually came back on that, and like Turtles, and I think one other one, maybe it was Rush, where they kind of brought it back to where it was before they jumped the prices.
I think it's Turtles and Led Zeppelin actually that they brought down at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a comment in chat, and I do want to point this out, Professor Terry. I must admit, Australian distributors wouldn't be making, I don't think, too much money on games, because by the time you get them over, and then there's the GST element, which is the good service tax and everything. I would be surprised if they're making, $1,000 a game. 1,500. I don't know. Like I just don't see, because I've looked at, obviously I do a bit of stuff with Jerry from Multimorphic. He's sent me a game to try and like take her on tour in Australia, with all my groupies, and also talking to Turner about like doing the same, and there's not much margin in them. So like $1,000 to $1,500 at best, I think is what they're making. And I actually was having a conversation with Zach about opening a flipping house in Australia, and I was like, the problem with Australia is AMD, which is the Stern distributor, has been doing it for a long time, right? So they're really loyal in that sense with AMD. But it's kind of like, it'd be cool to do, but there's it's a very different world to the American market. The secondhand market, I mean, I know you guys, Zach does awesome stuff in the secondhand trading market and that, but I don't know about you guys, but the secondhand market over here is dead. Like, I'm talking, it's not quiet, it's dead. Like there's games that are sitting for a long time, and they'll only sell if you sell them cheap.
Zach, I see the flipping out post, and I get so jealous because I live in Canada. Honestly, I have to be honest with you. For the most part, 90 to 95% of the games Zach posts on the flipping out are cheaper to buy from him, a distributor, than people in Canada are trying to sell theirs for. Always, almost always. It's like, oh my God, I wish someone would sell that game here in Canada for that price. It's good on him for doing it, but.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Enzo, because you said you have 30 or 40 games, but you said you have to sell a game to get a new one. How is that hard? You're saying that's hard to do, like to sell the games, or you just know you're taking a hit?
And I get criticized by some of the local people that just having a fun poke, that like, I'm happy to lose money on a game. Like, for me, I don't mind having a game. I use it for a year, my family uses it, my friends use it, and I'm going to lose $3 or $4 Like, it's not because, everyone's like, this guy must be loaded. That's not the case. But it's just that, you buy a new Mercedes or a new Hyundai or whatever it is, as soon as you drive it out the lot, you've lost 20-30%, right? So it's naive to think I can buy a game for $18,000, play it for 12 months, and I want $17,000. Like I'm a realist, I run a business. I'm a business owner. I sell speakers, right? So give you an example. Which way am I? This way?
Yeah.
Some of these speakers, like that one there, is like $20,000. And as soon as you unbox it on the secondhand market, you try and sell it tomorrow, you're not going to get, you'll get 10. Like, it's just the way electronics are. So it's just, like for me to have to get a game in, I either have to go, does anyone want to trade for that game I want? Or if I really want a game and I want it now and I need to get rid of something, I have to go, okay, well, I'm going to sell this Walking Dead Pro for, I don't know, $8,000, when you could normally get $10,000 if you're patient, right? But it could sit. It could sit. So perfect example, I'll give you one, is there was a TNA CE with very low plays that was on it's still on the market for $15,000. And like, I don't know what that is obviously for you guys, but TNA is a it's a banger of a game, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it's 15 grand is a lot of money for that game because there's no ramps and there's no real it's a real simple game, but it's a heap of fun. But it's
$9,450
still sitting there.
So
there was a
9,400.
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones LE is still on the market for 13 grand.
Yeah, but that game sucks.
And it's been on the market.
What the?
I was just making sure Chuck was awake. Yeah, I hear you. So they said even if you don't price it right, yeah,
and I think Zach does a great job of that. He's clearly like, okay, we're starting here, and then we're just going to keep going down until it sells. I think, pinball's like the only hobby collector thing. Enzo mentioned speakers. We talked about cars. It's like it's the only thing where you could even hope to get what you paid for it. Reclaim all that money or whatever. So the fact that I've been in this for over 10 years, and then all of a sudden the past couple years I'm having to lose money on when I'm selling games instead of making significant money on selling games. It's that's fine. It's a law of averages kind of thing. But I think a lot of people that got into it in the past 5-6 years that paid a lot for games, especially on the secondhand market. Back during COVID, you were paying more than new in box price for used games. So some of those people are kind of holding their cards close to their chest and trying to get this stuff back, but it's just do you want to sell this game or not?
Yeah, no, I get it. Pete's asking in chat, did I buy Jaws? No, I'm currently borrowing this from Zach to stream, so I know Pete's a huge Jaws guy. But well, that's cool. I wanted Enzo. I really wanted to hear the Australian perspective, and what I'm hearing is the games take a while to get there, and they're very expensive, and they're hard to sell. But besides that, it's the exact same thing as here, right? I mean, it's pinball, right?
I've just seen a couple things quickly. There was a Stranger Things premium with the topper here, and it's still on the market, and it's around $14,000. That's a premium with a topper, right? What was the Fathom question about Fathom? So there was a Fathom new in box that we just unboxed. That was around $12,000, brand new in a box. Secondhand ones are selling for about $7,000 to $8,000. People are a little bit scared about buying a Fathom because obviously they think that with Haggett's not around anymore. It's kind of like.
Yeah, how are you gonna fix it? What are you gonna?
It's not as bad as what everyone thinks, though. The metal parts, obviously you can weld and all that. Amanda, sorry, you're right. It was 16,000. I was thinking something else. So Stranger Things premium with a topper is about 16 grand, but that person's asking, in my opinion, too much money. Right?
Where do you get parts? Where do you get? Is there we go to Pinball Live, Marco Specialties, same for you guys, and it just takes a while to get there? Or do you have any?
Yeah, look, we do, but there is a pinball house over here that does a lot of spare parts. There are a couple other smaller guys that do it as well, but yeah, look, there are times where I have to get stuff from Marco's or Mezzul or wherever it is. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here in Canada, the same thing. We get our stuff majority from the States. There's a couple of suppliers in Canada who have it's mostly LEDs and rubbers and just smaller parts, but for anything major we have to go to Marco or Pinball Life or
Mike. I know how you're getting your parts. You're snaking them over the border. I know you are. You're not. Yeah, no, that's great. Well, cool. No, that was exactly what I wanted. I wanted a little bit of just better understanding or deep dive. So Enzo, thank you for representing your entire country and telling us, educating us on the Australian pinball experience.
I tried to get Chris Hemsworth, but he wasn't available.
He wasn't available to talk. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game. It's a game that I thought up completely on my own. There was no outside influence. I've never heard of anybody doing a game that's at all similar to this. And I decided to call it This or That. This or That. Yeah, this should be fun. Absolutely, chat. I would love to hear your thoughts. So feel free to explain why we're right, why we're wrong, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Should be just fun, good old conversation. If you didn't notice, the overall news, pinball news right now, a little slow. So we're just kind of diving into everything else. But let's go. So for slide number 1, should have called it that or this. Cause you're right. That would have made sense. So I did visuals, guys. I made this is a PowerPoint doc. I made it. Not PowerPoint, Google Slides, but here we go. So real simple here. And we'll alternate who goes first. But we got Jaws 50th or Godzilla 70th. Jaws 50th, Godzilla 70th. Mike, we'll let you take the reins on the first one.
Okay, so this is a tough one for me for a couple of reasons. One, I really like Jaws. I really like Jaws. And two, I mean, I like Godzilla, but everybody has one. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a Godzilla, so it's like you play it everywhere you go. But it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love the art. It's amazing. I'm not a big fan of the Jaws art package. The thicker white where it says Jaws on the translite and then on the cabinet just throws me off. I don't mind the red powder coat. But I just don't like. I have a Pro, which you can't see, and the bar is like much thinner on the top, and it just makes more sense. But I would probably go with Jaws.
Jaws 50th. Okay, you're locking it in.
Yeah.
You're locking it in. Locking it in. Sweet. Chuck, where are you at?
All right. It's the gameplay of Jaws is great. My good friend Elizabeth Gieske, she worked on that game inside and out, and she did a fantastic job with it. The game is so good, especially the premium features on that. It has, I typically am not a huge fan of upper playfields, but that's not really an upper playfield. It's almost like a combo shot that's like super well done. I love that. Obviously the shark coming up out of the playfield, but if you were to just look at this picture, I don't know how anybody would not pick Godzilla. And I also know a little bit more about Godzilla because that art, the cabinet art, is foil, and that foil stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, the one drag I have on the Godzilla art is they should have made all the red blue. It should have been that atomic breath blue everywhere. So all the accents should have been blue instead of red. So that's the main takeaway I have from Godzilla. But if you had to make me choose, I'm probably picking Godzilla just because I love black and white, like the blood red kiss. Like I love that too. That was awesome. So like standing over that black and white game and just those little accents of color, I love that. I'm not a huge fan of the Jaws red powder coat. I feel like they could have done a better job of making the blood look a little bit better. Like the Walking Dead armor where there's just splashes of blood, whatever. But anyway, I'm picking Godzilla in this case.
Hey, that's awesome. So we got 1-1 with valid arguments for both. Enzo, where are your thoughts? Yeah, I know you haven't seen the 50th in person, but
no.
Yeah, overall thoughts.
The thing I've spoken to quite a few people who have, and they actually said the 50th looks better in person than the photos, right?
It looks really good. It really, I mean, it's
the whole side art thing, like if it's your only game, I can understand, but a lot of the time they're wedged between other games, so it's not like you really pay that much attention to it. I understand you're buying the total package though, so I appreciate that. I think the black and white tends to get a little bit busy in my opinion. Like I do love Elvira's Blood Kiss edition. I think that looks great, and there's probably a little bit less happening on the playfield. I find the Godzilla black and white is probably a bit too busy in my opinion. And Godzilla doesn't eat the ball, but neither does Jaws technically. I have to say Jaws, the gameplay of Jaws is way too captivating, and the nostalgia, like I'm a big ambassador for nostalgia being really powerful, and I think yes, Godzilla has been around for a long time, but like we weren't really exposed to it. I'm 40 years old. I wasn't really exposed to it apart from the 98 Godzilla with Matthew Broderick, and the most recent films. So the old kind of campy. I'm always going to go Jaws. I'm just always going to go Jaws.
Once again, great valid points. Honestly, when I look at both of these games, I think they both are great. Don't get me wrong, but I would prefer Godzilla, the colored version. That's what I have. It's what I would like if I was a brand new. I'm buying Godzilla, and they're both in front of me. Don't get me wrong, the black and white looks amazing. The foil, it looks great. I like the color. I would prefer the color. And then honestly, art package wise, I said this on the stream the other night. Jaws 50th, I actually prefer the look of the Jaws Premium. I like Michael Barnard's art. I like that. Now I'd probably replace the Translite with the standard Pro Translite. So art-wise, I think I prefer their normal versions better. So I'm almost focusing more on just straight-up game. I own Godzilla. Godzilla is an incredible game. I will tell you right now, if I was to start over, if I was starting my collection over, I would be buying Jaws. I would personally buy Jaws over Godzilla. I really have a lot of fun with Jaws, and I love that you can play it so many different ways. I said that earlier. Co-op, 8-bit mode, the topper mode, I love it. I love that you can hit that button and you can play it differently. So I don't think it's the honeymoon on it. Obviously, I mean, it's right here. It's sitting right here. I don't think it's the honeymoon phase. I mean, this was a game. I streamed the Pro. I streamed the Premium. Now I'm streaming this, and it's one of those games that when it's gone, I think about it. I do think about Jaws a lot. So gaming Rulin, trade Godzilla in. My issue, I've told this before, my issue with Godzilla is that is one of the best versions of a Godzilla Premium you could ask for. Like, it is fully modded out. Shout out to Stevie and Stumbler Mods and all the other thing. That thing is an amazing version of a premium. And I had a recent friend that basically was like, if you ever sell a game with the fear that you can't get that good of a game again, maybe don't sell it. So I don't know, like Chuck has that big game behind him. I know it's his favorite game, but you said it's like a beautiful example of a big game. And that would be like really hard to let go, you know, when you have such a good... But tell me I'm wrong.
Say something controversial?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to say something controversial. I actually think Godzilla's a little bit overrated.
Okay.
Like it's a great game and everything. I just don't think it's like number one. That's all. Like that's my personal opinion.
I think everything. I think Godzilla is an incredible game, but I think everything that Keith did well with Godzilla, he improved upon with Jaws, and most of that is probably code related. Layout wise, maybe the layout on Godzilla I think is a little more unique, or the toys and mechs in Godzilla are a little more unique. But I think just the overall code structure, the individual modes, everything in there. Then you throw in the 8-bit mode, the topper mode, everything like that.
Yeah,
I think that's where Jaws has stepped it up, in my opinion.
And I think like with Godzilla too, you're getting like maybe like a little fatigue in the sense that like I said earlier, it is everywhere. Like it's in every tournament, it's on every location, everybody has one in their house, so it's like everywhere you go it's Godzilla. So you think to yourself, well, I'd rather have Jaws because all my friends have a Godzilla and I'll be able to play that whenever I want.
Well, I agree with you.
I prefer Avengers.
My local friend group, now out of the 4 of us, 3 of them own Jaws. So
soon enough too. Yeah,
they've all transferred essentially, or grown in, like they're like in that thought of like also I'll sell Godzilla because they're everywhere. But anyways, we got some good comments here in chat. I appreciate the chat participation, but people are talking about other Elwyn games. Spoiler alert, just wait. And Zach did call me out. He said, am I sitting on the fence or sitting on my hands? So he's basically telling me to trade in my Godzilla. I know. All right. That was great. Round 1, got it. Round 2, boom. Oh, look at these graphics. It's so cool, right? Everyone's impressed, I can tell.
All right, I got to pick.
I know. So we got Dune.
2 games I haven't even touched.
I know. Sorry. I have played both of these games. David Van Ness, cool. Just a heads up. David Van Ness is in chat. I don't know if he's still here. So if you crap all over Dune, you're basically telling him right to his face. Just saying. But no, we got Dune, and I went ahead and did just kind of price for price. I went ahead and did the Wizards edition of Harry Potter, not the collector's edition. So. Dune, we're going to start. Chuck, I'm sorry, but we're just working our way through. Chuck, we'll start with you. I know you haven't played these yet, but your thoughts between the 2 games.
Yeah, so while I haven't played these, I've watched and read up a good amount on them. read some opinions from people that I find in high regard, including, George with TPN and Carl D'Angelo. But Harry Potter seems to be extremely fast and furious, and that immediately, draws me in. I don't like the reports about you're not able to enjoy the fanfare and the theme integration.
Yeah.
I think Hobbit from Jersey Jack is one of the best theme integrations I've ever seen in pinball. Like, it's not the best shooter, like whatever, like people kind of dog it a little bit, but I've never seen theme integration like that in my entire life.
Hobbits
and
that's so good.
It's great. And apparently Harry Potter's kind of lacking in that regard because it's just so fast and so much is going on at all points in time. You're not able to enjoy a lot of it. So, and that stuff maybe will be tweaked in the future. But anyway, that's kind of my take on Harry Potter. Now, Dune, again, I'm hearing from everyone, and from what I'm seeing, like the shots are fantastic. I watched a lengthy Bowen video on it. Like I'm liking everything I see with it, with the shots and the combos and the rules, the structure, how the modes work, and the theme integration seems incredible. I love the day-night stuff and the different modes, how they work with day and night, and the lighting. Lighting I'm hearing is incredible as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough pick, but probably just because I don't know as much about Harry Potter as I do Dune, I gotta go with Dune because it seems like a better total package for what that theme has going on. And so
I think that's and you maybe you're biased, but you're in on a Dune, right? So I hope
it's mainly because I can't afford a Harry Potter, even though it's like, I guess the base one isn't terribly more expensive than Dune.
Sure.
And Dune came out first, so it's always like, I want to get the newest game, right? So
all right, great. So you were Dune. All right, Enzo, what were your where are you at? What are your thoughts?
Same thing. Obviously, we haven't even seen either of these. There was a Dune here in Australia for an event that we recently had, but that again was 5,000 kilometers away, and I didn't go to it. They're very different games, right? This is the thing. So, like for me, when you're talking cinematic experience and you're letting you immerse yourself in the world of Dune wins that probably hands down, because I'm hearing that the atmosphere it creates and the sound and the sound effects and the screen at the back and all that. Potter's a completely different game because we got to try and cram in like those 8 movies and all that content and everything. And I still think Potter, they should have done 2 games, first 4 films and the last, right? And had them, the first 4 bright and colorful, the last 4 darker and gritty, and if you can connect them together you get super wizard mode or some crap. But they're very different, and you even said before, like the fact that Harry Potter is fast and it's flowy and there's not it's a different style of game altogether. So in the perfect world you'd have both, because they're both very different experiences in pinball. For me, being not a great player and just a casual player, I would probably choose Harry Potter. Just because, if Carl D'Angelo is he's a good shot, but Dune for me looks like you've probably a little bit harder maybe to shoot, but again, but then again, now thinking about it as well, does Harry Potter mean that like you then have a game that you similar to what you've already got between things like Avatar and Jaws, and like is Dune the better option because it is quite cinematic and unique and different, so I'm kind of on the fence, but I don't know. Let's go Dune because it's different to anything I actually have in the collection.
I think it's fair. I know it's tough to put you guys in the spot where you haven't played the games, but
and Dave's an Aussie.
Yes, he is. Dave's an amazing man. So nice, such a kind guy.
He's very nice, man.
Yeah. So I've played the heck out of both of these. And what I can say is the game I enjoy to shoot more, the game that I actually physically like playing more, is Harry Potter. The layout in that is incredible. I really enjoy the way it shoots. I think the inlane outlanes and the way there's no wireforms, the way the ball feeds, it's just a fast, fun experience. With that said, I think Dune does pretty much everything else better. The overall immersive experience, one thing I really struggled with the stream is the light show. You cannot convey the light show well on the stream. The light show is unbelievably good in Dune. The sound package in Dune is unbelievably good, and currently there are no callouts in the game. Like, I was amazed with how much I was enjoying Dune, and the game felt unfinished. So I really like Dune. And what blew me away was my wife liked Dune. My wife is a huge Harry Potter fan, and she played Harry Potter. She thought it was cool. She kept playing, but she had no idea what was going on. She had no idea what she was doing, but she kept playing because it was Harry Potter, and she felt like she was in the world of Harry Potter. While Dune, right now, the light show actually tells you what to do. It shows you where to go. The worm, the Desert Power multi-ball is lit on ball 3, so she got multi-ball every single time she played the game, and the overall experience of Desert Power multi-ball is fantastic. So honestly, I mean, if the game stopped right now, if it just stopped where it was at, like if Dune was a finished game, maybe I would go Harry Potter, because the game, like, there's so much in Harry Potter. There's so much there in Harry Potter. But I think when Dune is complete and everything's in that, I think Dune overall will be enjoyed more, probably by the pinball hobby than Harry Potter. That's my thought.
Is it fair to say that Dune, obviously, I'm reading and I'm hearing that it's a lot more approachable than Labyrinth. I had Labyrinth, but it kicked my butt.
It is,
like, it kicked my butt.
So that was what was funny, was I agreed. Labyrinth is a challenging layout. It was a good layout. It's not that it was clunky or anything. Like, it was just a challenging layout. But Dune, when Zach dropped it off, was a brutal layout. Come to find that they redesigned the cabinet. So now the new cabinet, they expect the leg levelers to be flat. So don't put the leg levelers like halfway up like you're used to. That's what Zach had him at, and I put my little thing on it, and it measured 7.8 degrees. So once I moved those down and got it in the 6.5 range, 6.5, 6. I think it ended up at like 6.7. Then all of a sudden, all the shots started making sense. I mean, if you guys watch my stream, you know I brick plenty of shots, but I absolutely feel like every shot in that game is it's not, type of findable. Like, they're all good shots. They're all good shots. They're all fun. But man, the immersive experience that's already in the game, and there's no call outs, and there are no mini wizard modes. There's no many, like, it's already such a fun experience. And that's the biggest complaint with Harry Potter, right? Is Harry Potter, they shove so much of the Harry Potter movies in the game, but it's not the immersive experience like Hobbit, like you were saying, Chuck. They're not pulling you into the movies. It's just kind of going on in the background. While Dune, the modes they are pulling you into the movies. You are playing the awaken mode, is you're pulling you into that, and that's what I really love. So and I'm not just saying that because David Van Ness is in chat, but David, your team is crushing it, so keep doing what you're doing, and I'm excited to see what Eric does with the code and where this all ends up. So there you go. There's my take. I don't feel like I wasn't fin sitting there. I feel like I actually picked a side. So Mike, I know you haven't played these games, but still, what are your thoughts?
I have played Dune. I played Dune at Yegpin at the beginning of June, actually. So it was like one of the, if not the first one in Canada. The code was early, so I mean, I can't really, and I didn't get a lot of time on it, but I loved the layout and I loved the theme integration, the art. It's not busy. It feels like almost like less is more when it comes to like the art package and the layout and stuff. It's it's Dune. It's Dune in its art package and the theme. I love the little screen in the bottom, like they did with Labyrinth as well. That helps with the integration with the theme and everything, showing scenes from the movie to match what's going on the playfield. Harry Potter, I haven't seen a whole lot of. If if you showed me both these two games today and all I saw was what I'm looking at, I probably gravitate towards Harry Potter. A lot of people would. It's flashy looking. It's got a big screen. The theme is probably one of the top themes in the world that you could have for pinball, right now. Not having played the game though, I can't really comment. I've seen enough of the gameplay to, realize it's a good game, but right, it's very busy, and a lot of complaints, like you're saying, it doesn't bring you through the movies, and that's Star Wars was the same way because you were playing modes out of sync from the movies. You play killing the Death Star first, right, and then you'd play all the other modes. So people were complaining about that. So I feel like that kind of vibe from it too. So I would definitely, based on my limited experience in both games, go with Dune.
Oh, nice. I do want to say though, I honestly still had a blast with Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter is in no way a bad game. I think I would put Harry Potter easily in their top 2 JJP games. I mean, Hobbit still, man. Hobbit, the immersive experience of Hobbit is so good. I wish it shot better. If you could take the Hobbit experience with this layout, but it's a great game. If anybody here has a Harry Potter on order, I don't think you will regret it. It is a fantastic game.
No.
I was just blown away with how good Dune was.
Can I say something controversial again?
Yes, please.
I think Avatar is JJP's best game so far. I haven't played Potter yet.
I like that. I like that game too. I played that at Yegpin as well, and that surprised me.
I got to say, I think Avatar was very hard done by the launch and the short run it had, and everyone knew Potter was coming. And I think Mark Seiden is probably one of the nicest people in pinball. And it didn't help when Jack, after Mark spent 2 hours in the forum, and I said this to Jack in our interview with Jack. I said, Jack, I got to call you out. Poor Mark sat there for 2 hours pitching Avatar, and then you told everyone not to buy Avatar.
Yeah, don't spend a dime.
So I think it was just hard done by. But I think Harry Potter is. I think Avatar is one of JJP's best games.
We need more ramp spinners. We need more ramp spinners out there.
Yeah,
the clip spinner is awesome.
Shot, yeah.
And the fact that it's worth so much at certain times, like it makes it even better. That's great. I love that shot.
Avatar, I had a good time with Avatar. It was just the code, man. But that's where I'm okay with it. I understand if a JJP game shows up on my doorstep, I'm ready to study up. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to dive deep into the modes. But where Avatar stuck with or struggled was like my brother. Once I started to explain some stuff, he's like, I'm done. Like he just checked out. Or the same, and I understand that's tough. That's what's really tough about pinball, right? Is how do you make a game approachable to a novice, but also keep Eric where he can make an 11-hour tutorial on a game. Like how do you find that balance? How do you do that? I don't know that answer, but well, cool.
A big shout out to Jeff at Dirty Pool Pinball because he's doing all the sound effects and stuff.
Yes, he is.
He's doing a wicked job.
It's fantastic. Like that's where I'm excited. I think Eric and the team at JJP, I think they are listening to some feedback. I'm curious how they're going to massage the code. I mean, the code in Harry Potter is much farther along than Dune, so I'm curious if they're going to listen to some of the feedback and kind of tweak some stuff and massage the code. And so that hopefully is going to be in an amazing spot, within the next few months. But then Dune, I'm just excited for them to finish the code and see where that's at. So both of these games are great. Honestly, I'm already worried about the Twippies. Like, there's so many good games this year. There's no go ahead easy winner for Twippies, which is good for the next one here. So boom. Spooky, figure out how to take a picture of your game. Okay, this is it's a 3/4 picture is what we shoot for here. Not come on. I tried, but here we go. Godzilla LE or Evil Dead. Evil Dead. So who's up? Enzo, you're up first.
This is an interesting one because I don't have Evil Dead yet, and King Kong arrived the other day. I will say straight off the bat, it's going to be Evil Dead, right? Even though I haven't played Evil Dead, and there's multiple reasons why. Plenty of my friends have. What Spooky are doing, the fact that this game's been at Electric Cat Arcade, as they call it, as Don likes to call it, the Electric Bat Arcade, and it hasn't missed a beat. Theme integration, franchise artwork, tick, 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 tick. King Kong is an amazing shooter. I actually prefer King Kong over Godzilla as a shooter.
Oh,
I think the problem with King Kong for me is the code and the modes, and the fact that there's no nostalgic connection to the IP because it's an original IP, and I don't feel a connection. I'm not in love with the game. Because I don't know what's happening. Like, it's all original animation, original IP, original story. I know there's elements of the original movie in it, don't get me wrong, but the fact that, again, nostalgia is very powerful, and Evil Dead films are just phenomenal, and that Topper is phenomenal. For me, it's Evil Dead.
All right, so I'm next.
If you don't have any kids at home.
That's my issue. I mean, the honest answer is, which one of these can I own? I can only own King Kong. When Evil Dead was here, I literally had to keep it closed up with a blanket on at all times. With that said, though, which game did we have more fun playing? Evil Dead. Evil Dead, I think, does so much so well. We just had a blast. My brother and I had a blast playing that game. Immersive modes, fun modes. The fun factor on Evil Dead is unbelievable. Not to mention the art. I don't even like the Evil Dead franchise. I just really had a great time with that. King Kong, don't get me wrong. I think King Kong might be my favorite shooter of Elwyn. Like, I love the way King Kong shoots. I love it. We had the LE, beautiful game. But when it came to like toys and mechs, honestly, if I was to buy King Kong today, it would probably be a Pro. I think a Pro, you throw a modded spider over the magnet, maybe a mod over the gong, you're good to go. I'm not dogging on the mechs that are in the premium and LE. I just think Keith kept all the important stuff in the Pro. Like, everything you need is in the Pro. It's awesome. So I think King Kong will get more love as time goes on and the code continues to expand. I know Rick Nagel, we had him on last week. He's now all in on King Kong now that Jaws is complete. So I'm curious to see where it develops. But you're right. You kind of said the modes are kind of lifeless in comparison to what you have in Evil Dead. So in my opinion, if I was voting Twippy-wise right now, I think Evil Dead's the better game. But which one can I own? I can only own King Kong. So that's probably a bad answer, but that's my answer. So, Mike, you're up.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I've played a bit of King Kong, and I really enjoy it. It's an awesome game. It shoots great. I love the flow. I mean, you can flow with the upper flippers and not even have the ball on the bottom, right? And it's just all that flow in the game. It's an Elwyn. You know it's an Elwyn. You can tell it's an Elwyn. It feels like an Elwyn. The rules feel like an Elwyn. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. You're getting a good game when it's an Elwyn. Almost sight unseen. Now, I mean, he's 6 in and he's knocked every one of them out of the park. So you can't go wrong with having a Kong for sure. I've never played Evil Dead. I've only heard incredible things about it. I love the art package. Franchi knocked it out of the park on the Evil Dead art. The topper is probably my favorite topper of all time. I love the topper really on the Evil Dead. The game looks so fun. The theme looks like it's bang on. Even like, the shooting in the shotgun shells, all that stuff just on theme for sure. And now, having played King Kong and really enjoying it, it's tough for me to go Evil Dead, but one of the main reasons why is because I've owned every other Elwyn game. And would I like to own King Kong? Yes, of course, but I'm ready to bring Evil Dead in and have something different and fresh and go with that.
I remember when I saw the sling flipper on the stream, I was like, that's dumb. Like, I thought it was like, that's just poor design. But then honestly, the sling flipper works. Like, it works, and it's funny that it works. I saw in chat here, I saw Spooky DJs in chat. I think he does some of the coding on the game. So fantastic job. Fantastic job on what you've put in Evil Dead. Chuck, where are you at? Tell us we're all wrong and you're picking King Kong.
You might be surprised by my pick here. I'm also someone that hasn't played Evil Dead at all. I'm still trying to find that perfect spooky for me. I was super close to getting a Scooby-Doo, decided not on that one and went a different route. But as far as themes go, like Evil Dead crushes King Kong. Like even if they were to do original King Kong stuff, whatever, I'm of the younger crowd. I thought Godzilla worked, even though I didn't like, I didn't really resonate with the Godzilla theme. Like that campiness, like I love that campiness. I went back and watched Godzilla movies because of playing Godzilla. King Kong, like there's nothing they could have done with this to make me want to go back and watch, the old movies, or even, I've seen a couple of the new ones, whatever. They don't really register with me. But like we said, it is an Owen. It just like Godzilla and Foo Fighters did this to me too. I played this thing for 2 days straight, and I didn't even care what the rules were. Like the shots were amazing. Like just comboing everything I could, whatever. Like that was great. But from a theme standpoint and the videos I'm seeing and talking with all the people that like, had the same taste as me in pinball, they're just like, man, this is just leagues above what Spooky's been doing in the past. And they've just pushed the envelope this time and they've just knocked it out of the park. So, I can't wait to find at some point to be able to get Evil Dead in home. Like there's no way I'm not going to have Evil Dead at some point. So I'm definitely picking Evil Dead.
So Spooky DJ
like
clarified.
Without even flipping it once.
No, that's great. But yeah, Spooky DJ clarified he only did the operating system for Evil Dead. So hey, that operating system is
operating system.
Oh man, it
great.
Operates,
like,
man.
I can see it in this picture.
It operates
great.
so good. Honestly, I this is what I will say. We streamed Looney Tunes on the channel, and we had bug on the stream, and it crashed multiple times during the stream. Like and what come to find out is they like for the next like 5 days like really hunkered down, and they're like, we got to figure out what's going on. And so I think Spooky DJ was a big part of that, because when we streamed Evil Dead, not a one time did it crash, and then shortly after that was TPF, and they had 12 of them. And I asked over the 3 days, they're like, we had to reset one switch. Like everything, like they really have stepped it up with their overall consistency and how well their games operate. And I felt like a little fanboy of, like, I was showing so many people Evil Dead because I just streamed it. Like I knew the game, and I was like, do this. Like, no, you want to see this and this and this. It's awesome. So it's hyped, but honestly, I mean, yes, you're right. You can't deny how good Elwyn is. The Elwyn layout of Kong is incredible. Let's wait and see where this code ends up. But it's, I mean, that's a tough, it's tough. I think he's made something really great with an unlicensed known theme, but yeah, man, it's tough to compare. What does Zach say?
Can I say something controversial again?
Yeah, 1 second. Side note: the stupid
I
Stern
love the
player
controversial segments from Enzo. Keep them coming.
So Zach said the giveaway mat that he shipped last week, it cost over $100 to ship to Australia. So thank you. All right, controversial. Let's go. What do we got?
Zach, we wouldn't have this problem if we were doing flipping out Australia, bro. I'm telling you, whatever. But something controversial. I don't think Looney Tune gets enough love.
Looney Tunes. We had a good time with Looney Tunes. It just kept crashing. Like that was, as a streamer, I mean, Mike, Chuck, like when you're playing a game, you just want, don't break. Just let me play my game. And that was my biggest, it was like, it gave me anxiety while playing that game, because I'm like, I'm loving this game, but it's breaking and bugs on the chat, and I feel bad for them. But luckily they fixed it all. And Looney Tunes, yes, I enjoyed the modes in Looney Tunes. But once again, Eric Pripke is this hidden gem. Eric Pripke did Looney Tunes. Eric Pripke is now doing doing Dune, and before that he did Rick and Morty, which Rick and Morty modes were fantastic, even though the layout was brutal. So all good. One
thing I will add that I think Spooky does better than anybody is, we've always had these conversations about Stern, especially, not so much JGP, but mainly Stern. All these modes and all their games, they all feel samey. And even when they really don't, like if you know what the rules are, but on the surface, they feel all samey. Spooky has done such a good job with all their games, so that their modes feel so different, and they're so varied, and there's like, they're almost like their own little like mini wizard modes every time you play like a standard mode. And that's like one of the coolest things that they do. They just think outside the box for all these standard modes that, I don't want to say they're throwaways for other companies, but they just don't seem to have the same kind of teeth as what Spooky does in that regard.
Wind Raider, thank you. Joe pointed out that Eric Pripke also did Labyrinth. So I mean, like these story-based modes where you're working through a journey or experience. I love them. I love them so much. I don't care what the points are. I don't care about the multiplier. Like, that's just not me. But yet it's there. I know they have that in there too. They have that hidden in the background. Watching like Carl D'Angelo play Dune and the way that he's gathering spice and then doing this and then doing this and building it up and boom, it's like, man, he did a lot of work for a lot of points.
Yeah, give us both.
Yeah,
you know?
but
like
I'm
the
like
theme integration and the crazy rule stuff. Yeah,
it's so good. It's so good. All right, cool. Next one here. I see Jared's in chat. So Jared's awake. Thanks for watching, Jared. There we go. Boom. Now, Enzo, are we starting with you? Or no, you just went, didn't you? Did you just
yeah,
start?
he started the last round, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then it would be me starting. I want Enzo to start on this. And the only reason I want Enzo to start on this is because he just interviewed Mike Vinacore, and I know he's pumped. But yes, right now,
My X-Men watch.
there you go. X-Men. I'm very curious. Where are we at here? I know. I mean, this is an interesting one. I'm very curious to hear people's thoughts here. So this or that X-Men. Now, obviously, I'm showing the LEs. If you want to go LE, great. If you want to go whatever, just X-Men versus John Wick. Where are we at? Enzo, I'm I'm driving the bus, so you can go first.
This is it's a tough one for me because like I love the John Wick franchise. Like I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. Love the films. Love everything about it. I love that with John Wick you play as him and the flipper buttons are your guns, and it's a first-person shooter. I think people don't really take that like it's a first-person shooter like you're playing Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
But it is brutal, and I love that. Like when I heard that movie, the game was coming. I was like, if Winston's not doing the call outs, we riot, right? Like, I don't care about the no guns thing. Like, you know, I know Kerry went all rogue on the whole no guns thing, but if I had no Winston, I would have been rioting. But there is like X-Men just ticks every box. Like the layout, the way it looks, it's probably Stern's best looking game. The comic art on it, I know people say that they're a bit tired of the superhero comic art look. Fine, I probably tend to agree a little bit on that. But I like the simplicity of X-Men. Like even the old code, I was kind of okay with because anyone could play it. My kids could play it. They couldn't really start Sentinel multi-ball because it was too hard back then. It's easier now. I think it is Stern's best layout in relation to being different, obviously, and you know what they're doing with it. So for me, it's X-Men.
Okay. So I'm next. So, I mean, I bought X-Men, right? So with that said, I think they're both in a position where the code's unfinished. The code's unfinished and we're kind of back to, first base, you know, or the starting point. Let's see how this, develops. I would think it's easier to code for Wick. And what I mean by that is the challenge is, I love the layout of X-Men. But the challenges of the layout are every shot, if you hit the shot, they're all safe. They all return to a flipper. So these high-end players, like that's what I'm curious. Mike, I know if Carter was playing this, he probably just, you know, and Chuck, I mean, you're a tournament player. Like the tournament side of X-Men, how do you code this game when so much stuff combos? How do you keep it interesting for the high-level players? I don't know. I think that's going to be really challenging compared to Wick, where Wick's layout it's more of a challenging layout, but I think it's easy. Like I think they can do a lot with it. And don't get me wrong, I love the expression lighting. So I have no complaints with the way that Wick shoots or the layout, even the toys, the mechs. So that is a game that I'm looking for, and I'm excited to stream later when we're further down the road. With all that said, I mean, I bought X-Men, so I'm like,
but Mike,
I'm all in on
did
X-Men.
say. Because one of the questions I asked Mike was that a lot of people have said they've made the game too easy now, or both of them. But Mike did say that, like, for instance, let's use the example of the Sentinel not breaking the wireform anymore, right? And he only breaks it in multi-ball. You can go into the settings and change that back.
You can do that, yes.
Yes, and a lot of the stuff he said you can change. And you can make Sentinel harder to start the multi-ball again. So for like comps and like good players, you're right. Like, you know, that flipper, the fact that the ramps go to the flipper, like you look at Nick when he streamed the new code for Stern, he got like 500 mil on ball one because he's a beast.
I know.
But
yeah,
I still pick X-Men.
So I have had to tweak my game to get it to play well, and that's where I feel bad. There's a lot of people that the only thing they've experienced of X-Men is an on-location game that isn't shooting well. And I would assume the design tolerances of this game are a whole lot tighter than other games that have come out of Stern. So Raiden mods makes some amazing mods that helps with a lot of the geometry issues. So my game, I am very happy with the point at where my game shoots. I'm very eager, like everybody else, to see where the code ends up. But I mean, I'm going to sit here and say, art theme wise, I'm all X-Men. Art, all X-Men. Geometry, I love the geometry now that it shoots well of X-Men. It's going to be very interesting to see where we're at a few months down the road. So, Mike, tell me how great Wick is and why.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to beat around the bush. My choice is going to be John Wick. I've played both games. I've played both new codes. Not as much on X-Men, obviously, since I don't own it. But you mentioned it before with all the shots leading to your flippers and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they're fun. They're fun shots to hit, right? They're fun shots to hit. But the frustrating part for me is, and I guess is when you miss a shot. It is very chaotic. All the things that the ball bounces off, so that sort of makes up for. Exactly. Like a pop bumper will nail the ball out right away for you, and I feel like that center post really is so deep down that it doesn't help a lot of the time. Obviously, it can help, but to me, it feels like it's a little too deep down under the flippers. I think the art package on X-Men is better than John Wick, but John Wick to me right now is like a top 5 game for me.
Wow.
It ticks all the boxes that Black Knight's Sword of Rage used to tick. The speed, the challenge. People call it an easy game. Well, it's not an easy game in this. Like, yes, the modes are easier to finish because there's no enemies blocking the shots now. Now the enemies act as multipliers, which is great. You can get huge scores in the game now. But bigger scores don't necessarily equate to an easier game. Otherwise, I think we said it earlier in our stream, Attack from Mars would be considered the easiest game of all time because you can put up billions and billions of points. I still think John Wick is a challenging game. It's very fast. It's brutal. And I love where the code is going right now. I liked the code beforehand as well, too. But there's still so much more to come in obviously both the games, but in John Wick, I'm really looking forward to seeing how they put in the wizard modes, and there's the allies. There's allies on each ramp that they're completely like not even in the game right now. They've taken them out. They're not even part of the code or anything. So I'm looking forward to all that being added to the game. And I think the theme integration is great. I love the music. I love the video packages that they show when you're playing the game. And I like John Wick more as a theme. It's one of my favorite movie series too. So John Wick hands down.
Because of the 4K clips, isn't it? You're just all about that
resolution. Yeah, of course.
4K clips. Yeah. I will say both of these games are in a position where they're cheap. Like, this is the time to jump. Like, get in
both
on
one.
If you're on the fence of considering buying one, or like, this is the time to get in, because honestly, I think these games are only going to get better. So I got mine from Zach because he had one in on trade. Yep. So try to get one used if you can. If you can't, I just get one new. I don't know. I'm really excited about these games. Chuck, what are your thoughts? Yep. Have you played both?
I've played both fairly extensively. So, these are both LEs that we're seeing here. I will say, stepping up and just putting your hands on a John Wick LE, that powder coat, that like matte black like powder coat feels amazing. Like I like the first time I played that one, it was great. The kinetic satisfaction in John Wick is much better. You have the gun case, like I love hitting that. You got the car that you can hit multiple different ways. And then you had the Winston Tower or whatever. Yep. Like, all that feels great. Like, the shots are amazing. Like, they're tight, but they're right where you think they are on the flippers. So, like, they're more intimidating to look at than they are to shoot. So, like, the game shoots fantastic. I think whoever designed that game, I think it was a new designer. Like, that's a pretty fantastic layout, especially for a 2-flipper game. Like, for the longest time, you're like, pinball can't be fun if there's only 2 flippers,
Yeah.
and like that's an incredibly fun layout for a 2 flipper game. I love the movies too. Like the theme is great. That's a extremely solid game. Like even when the code was, before it is now, like I really loved playing the game. I didn't really mind that it was pretty bare bones, whatever. I loved playing it because it didn't play long. It was great for tournaments. Me being a tournament player, I liked all that stuff, so that was great. Just I didn't really have too many bad things to say about John Wick. And then X-Men, like I don't know how you can't look at that layout or shoot that layout for 5 minutes and not be like, this is one of the greatest layouts ever put into a game. Like I've never played a game where I'm hitting a ball one way and then it just goes a completely different path and ends up somewhere where you just couldn't even imagine that it was going to go there. Like, oh my gosh, did you just see that? Or did you just see that? Like, I feel like every shot in the game does something like that. But X-Men, like me being a Gottlieb guy and liking crazy weird layouts and games that really nobody else likes, and all of a sudden you're seeing people put aspects of these games into new games. It's because these ball paths that some of these designers like John Norris and other people at Gottlieb put in these games in the 80s that people just forgot about because the games weren't popular. But some of these layouts and ball paths and areas were so cool and so fun. And I just like playing X-Men is so awesome from that regard. Just the layout to start, and then you got the whole Gull Wings area on the bottom left-hand side that's even way better than how Gull Wings did it. Like, I just stepped up to that game, and I was immediately comfortable with it because of how used to these oddball layouts that I have been over the years. And so I immediately gravitated towards it because the first 2 tournaments I was in, people were really struggling, and I was just right at home, like right away. And, I get it. It's very temperamental to set up, but again, assume the game is set up perfectly and all the shots are working perfectly. I know that's kind of a tall task.
Yeah.
But man, X-Men is unbelievable from the shots and the layout regard, and the theme. I was big into those cartoons back then, but at the same time, like overall, like X-Men's a better theme for me for pinball than John Wick, even though I love the John Wick movies too. But just the total package of X-Men's just too hard to pass up. So I'm going with X-Men for sure.
Okay. Cool. I really thought you were gonna go Wick. With everything you said.
No, like Wick, like from
it's
typical pinball standpoint. Like I want to pick it, but X-Men just ticks a few more boxes for me.
Yeah. No, I think I think the takeaway here though is all 4 of us are excited by these games, and I will say, my initial streaming of Wick was like, all right, this is fun, but I want to see where it ends up, and now I'm excited about the future of John Wick, and obviously I'm excited about the future of X-Men. So that's awesome. Okay.
Can I say something controversial?
Oh, I can't wait. What do we got?
My X-Men didn't have any problems. Like apart from like the shooter rod plunger thing, like that would just change the spring. I had no issues. The ball hop was a slight adjustment, and then Stern just sent me. I don't know if you've got it now. Obviously, Raiden made the flipper mod, the flipper hop mod.
Yeah.
Right. Stern have sent out a replacement ramp now for that area, so he gets rid of the bar that lets the light through.
Yeah, it's a smooth rail now.
Like a metal,
rail. I thought you said ramp. No, it's a whole new rail.
Yeah, sorry,
right?
rail.
Yeah, it's just a standard, metal ball guide now.
Yeah, I've thought. I mean, I have the Raiden mod. I like the way it looks too. I think it's kind of cool. But that's great. That's great. I mean, honestly, the one that we streamed, I didn't really have any issues. The original LE that we streamed. Now the plunge wasn't consistent, but yeah, we can figure that out. I'm curious. Curious your thoughts here. Before we move on, I think they haven't announced accessories yet. I would love it if Stern announced instead of a plunge, it was a like a button, an auto plunge for X-Men, because there's no reason to short plunge in this game. So if they release it and it's just an auto launcher, like a button with the X-Men symbol or whatever, I think that would immediately mean you get that, then you don't even have to worry about a manual plunge. All you're dialing in is the auto plunge. Like, to me, I think that makes sense. Am I crazy? Is that dumb? Is that a dumb thing to want?
No, but I think that would, like Zach's just made a good point in the chat, right? Like I think this game, and Joel, you touched on this, that it's really temperamental on how it's set up, right? Like
Yeah.
if it's 6.8 and not 7, like I think the layout is just so precise and so intricate that yes, it's probably Stern's most delicate game on how it's set up. But if you consistently setting them all the same, like, you know, Zach's like he hasn't noticed anything, and now people are going to say he's just going to say that, obviously.
Yep.
But I've played multiples and I haven't noticed anything. Like one guy's ramp behind the Sentinel head was a bit janky, but then we found the screw was loose. That kept the wireform down.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some variation. Like we had a couple on location here that didn't shoot perfect, but then, you know, I go up to Trent's barn and he just has an LE and a Pro or whatever. Just he doesn't do anything to him. He just takes them out of the box and sets them there, and we're playing tournaments on them. And I'm like, these play perfectly fine. So, but again, when you have a layout like that, that's so, you know, unique, and like you're having cross paths and things like that, like that's going to lend itself to, you know, temperamental issues with how it's leveled and how steep it is, all that kind of good stuff. So it can definitely happen. You know, if you have a more vanilla layout or only a 2-flipper layout, that's going to be much less of a problem. So it only makes sense. But yeah,
I am going to ban somebody. You know, believe it or not. Sorry.
Banhammer coming out.
Yeah, hide user on this channel. Boom. Let's try that. I was just looking at chat and this guy's just ranting about nonsense. All right, so sorry. We're coming back. Sorry to piss that guy off, but anyways, there we go. Okay, so great conversation. Great conversation. Turtles are Rush. Turtles are Rush. And I'm gonna make Mike go first. I'm gonna make Mike go first on this one because he's got both.
Gotta choose one, man.
It's very
All of
apropos
Canada's watching.
being a Canadian and being asked questions because Joel knows how much I like turtles as well.
I know.
But also being Canadian, you know, you're required to like Rush. You're required to love Rush.
Yes.
You're required to own something with Rush on it,
Yeah.
a pinball machine, a shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
That being said.
Do you have Rush behind? That's Rush behind you, right? Literally, there's
in the corner.
the corner's Rush and Turtles Premium. Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, right there.
There's Rush.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And you have the Rush Pro or the Premium?
I have the Rush Pro, and I will use the caveat that I think the Rush Pro is a better version of the game. There is a lot of difference in the game, but it's not like it doesn't make a difference in the gameplay at all. I feel like the Pro is. I don't like the up and down ramp thing.
Okay.
On the center shot, I think it's just clunky when it hits it. So the Pro for sure. Turtles Pro, I think, is probably the better option for people. Although I enjoy the Premium that I have. But I'm gonna go with Rush, and not because I don't like Turtles, because I think Turtles is a fantastic game. Turtles is fast, it's quick, it's brutal. You know, typically short games. Rush, I find is a bit of a longer player, but the rule set in Rush is so deep. There's so much to do. I just love the progression you make through the game. I think. It's got a lot more stuff to shoot at than Turtles, and theme wise, I think Turtles probably has an edge slightly for me specifically, probably more so for anybody outside of Canada, or huge Rush fans like Tom or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's Rush for me, and it is purely based on how I feel about how the game plays and the code and the flow of the game and whatnot. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's a good. You won't be kicked out of your country now. So
I just find it challenging, like getting through the getting through the game in Rush is more challenging. Like I haven't gotten to the final wizard mode in Turtles. I've been very close, but it's just usually like, oh, I didn't get the full Krang combo or something that just missed one little thing. In Rush, there's so much you have to do to get there, but it's such a fun journey doing it. The modes are very different from each other. And one quick thing that I will say that I don't like about Turtles compared to Rush is
how do I mute
the modes in Rush.
Let me just mute you real quick. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me about
the modes in Rush. And it's just a simple thing. The modes in Rush, the inserts are colored differently for each mode. Turtles, they're all the same. And I complain about that about Mando as well, is they're all the same. I like to identify my modes based on the colors too. It just makes the game feel a little more varied and a little more, and it's just in my head, but
that's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. No, I appreciate your honesty. I saw in chat there, Luna's Puppets. That's Raiden mods. So he just showed in. We just talked about X-Men for quite a while. And yeah, we gave you a big shout out there on some great ways to improve your game. So yeah, who would have thought Raiden mods, his like actual job is he does puppets. He like makes... Check out his Instagram.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So next up is Chuck. Where are you at between Turtles and I don't know your answer here. I'm curious.
Yeah. So a little backstory on designers that I like and not necessarily dislike, but just the games treat me poorly. And John Borg is at the top of the list of games that treat me poorly. I always struggle with his games. I own a Walking Dead. I love that game, but at the same time, I do horrible 99 times out of 100 on it.
Yeah.
But I do love that game, but I really struggle on Borg's games. So this is a tough choice for me. Rush is the original X-Men layout that I wish the original X-Men had this layout. Like this, he perfected this layout with Rush, and I think it's fantastic. The fact that the ball is now comboing through the center shots instead of all this stop and go that the original X-Men had, I think that was a fantastic change, and all those shots work perfectly. I love everything about the changes in the shots there for that game. Turtles, though, with it being a John Borg game too, I think that this layout is even better. Like the flow of Turtles is so good. Like the combos are fantastic. I love how even you can go up the left orbit and it drops it to the upper flipper. A lot of times it's hard to set up those upper flipper shots. So I like how you have an option to kind of set that upper flipper shot a little bit easier. And my boy Dwight's on Turtles.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no matter how simple the game is or how complex the game is, I always gravitate towards Dwight games. I like the theme a little bit better for Turtles. I like, like I said, the rule set's great. Give me choices at the start of the game for different abilities and power-ups and things like that, and then going through the game, the fact that he uses that in a lot of his games is just so fun, and it just kind of keeps the gameplay experience and the strategy so varied. So I'm going Turtles 100%.
Sick. That's the right answer. Good job, Mike. You failed. You did not pass the dog. Okay, Enzo. Once again, I'm curious. I don't know. I don't know which way you lean here. So, what are you thinking?
I will apologize. There is some drilling happening upstairs. They're building a hospital upstairs, and it's been a disaster. So,
you can tell them to stop. A pinball podcast is clearly more important than a hospital. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you're fine. I don't hear it.
I'm going to spin everyone out, and I'm going to pick Rush.
Okay, and that's enough of that. So we're gonna go. No, go ahead. Tell us why.
And as a turtle collector and like a fanatic of turtles, it pains me to say that. Can I re-theme Rush into a Turtles? Like, is that and you know what hurts me even more to say this? I don't really care for Rush music. Like, I think jamming on Rush has made me enjoy the music a bit more, but I just can't connect with the theme. But it's, in my opinion, like Borg's best layout, and I think it's I enjoy playing Rush more than Metallica personally. But the whole package, like a Rush LE is a beautiful machine with an awesome topper as well. Like I really, really want to love Turtles, but I just really struggle with Turtles. I struggle with the scoring. I struggle with the shots, and I don't like the animations too much.
The scoring is much
code in Turtles.
The scoring is much better on Turtles once you have your Turtles leveled up, and
Leveled up,
it
yeah.
does. I
Yeah.
mean, it's still definitely on the lower side, and a lot of times you'll come out of a multi-ball and be like, I just played that multi-ball for like 4 minutes, and I only got like 800,000 points.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I literally played Turtles the other day at my friend's house, and I was on a multi-ball and ball one for like 15 minutes. I got off that ball, I needed a cigarette. Like I was so like, I was so done. And then I look up and I hadn't even hit like a mil.
So
that's
that's
probably the main drag I have on it is the scoring. But
yeah, look at like the early JJPs like Wizard of Oz and those weren't high scoring games either. You were getting like
they're
5,000
frustrating for
point
the same
jackpots,
reason too.
Yeah. But the theme is like I put, I probably shouldn't say it, but I put the Turtles animation code into the Turtles just to experience that, and it already felt different. I think the animations are a little bit odd as well.
Sure.
Like for a turtle, I mean, Joel's the same. He's got like Turtles artwork on the post on his background, right? Like it's just I really want to like it, and I just really struggle with it. Like if money and space isn't an issue, you'd have a Turtles, right? But if you had to pick one because it was, I think you'd lean to Rush if you weren't that theme, concerned.
It's all fair. Like it's all fair. I was gonna compliment the Rush code, but Ray Day's in chat, so I don't want to. But I do think honestly the depth of what you can do in Rush there's more. There's more there. And I mean the expression lights are so great, but honestly I like the way that Turtle shoots more, and I like Turtles. I mean I don't at the end of the day I like Turtles, and it's a hard game, but man, I mean that was my first new in-box game, and we just play it and play it and play it and play it, and yes, it's at my parents' house. But
he picks Turtles, but it's the first game to leave.
It's the game that will not leave my collection. Like I will always own it. But yes, it's at my parents' house, which I actually like because I almost feel like every time we visit, it's like that's the only game they have. It's like, well, might as well put a game on Turtles, and just every time we play it, we do have a good time. Hopefully Jared and I will stream it sometime soon. But I mean, if I had to take out my love of Turtles, I do think the overall code and like Rush is probably the better game, but man, I'm gonna go Turtles. That's just
Joel, where's your turtle tattoo?
It's on my leg. It's on my thigh. Yeah, I showed it off the other. I gotta like stand up on a stool, and I'm not gonna break my neck tonight. So yeah. All right, next one here. This one I'm super excited about. Okay, this is this or that. So Metallica LE remake. So the latest and greatest Metallica LE remake. So this is roughly a $15,000 game, I think. Or an original Metallica Pro and a Foo Fighters Premium. I think money-wise, they're comparable. So really, I was kind of do you want to go with the remake of Metallica, but I needed some incentives, so I threw in a Foo Fighters. So, very curious where people's thoughts are there. I made Mike go first on the last one, right? Yeah.
You haven't gone first yet.
Okay, I'll tell you right now. My answer is I'm going to go with the remake. I'm going to go Metallica LE remake over the two games. And I understand I used to be the guy that was two machines is always better than one. But I would tell you if I owned the regular Metallica, the whole time I'd own it, I would be thinking I would rather have the remake. I want the remake. I think what Ray Day put in the game was really good. He did a great job. And the LE package is insane. It's so good. The expression lights, all that stuff. So me personally, and it's almost like I'm not even thinking about Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters is very good. I enjoyed Foo Fighters a lot. But I'm in a point in my life where I'm filled up. So I really got to focus on the one game I want, not just adding and building. So me personally, I'm going to go Metallica remake the LE over the two games. That's what I'm going to do. Let's go Chuck. Chuck, you want to where are you at on this?
Yeah. I'm where you're at, man. I had Foo Fighters for over a year. That game's fantastic. Had Metallica for a while. Again, great game. But man, the stuff that they added to the new Metallica is just unbelievable. Like
Yeah.
Ray did such a good job with that. And Ray, like I know you're watching, like please tell me that Walking Dead is happening and you're doing the same magic to that, cuz man, like yeah, I'm not even a big Metallica uh pinball fan. Like again,
Yeah.
it's a board game, so again, I struggle with those games. I like the 6 months I had Metallica at home when I traded from a buddy, like that was more than enough for me. But playing the new one, I was like, man, I want this bad. Like the black and white LCD animations are so cool. Like I love the expression lighting being added to it, like all those extra modes. Like the game's a little bit easier now, which is better for me. Like I know I'm a tournament player, like I can handle myself, but it was just the original was a little too frustrating for me. And man, like I couldn't believe how much I flipped my opinion on Metallica pinball based off the new one. So yeah, give me that all day.
Sweet. Stringer Films he's been throwing super chats at it all night. So thank you so much for the support. But yeah, what is this? Is this or those? Other side note, I do realize it is midnight. Are you guys good to keep going, or should we have this be the last? I mean, I'm good, but I know it's the middle of your day, Enzo. So
it's 12 o'clock here, lunchtime. I'm fine.
Okay.
I really should get back to work at some point, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you need to leave, let me know. We can shut her down. But okay, that was Chuck. Thank you for going. Enzo, you're up next.
I'm gonna go with the 2 games.
Okay.
Like for me, it's like if I can have more, great. I'm like the Thanos of pinball, like collect them all. Foo Fighters is like a really, really good game. I had got rid of mine and had to get it back because I really miss it. And knowing that Jack is done, like, with design, I'm like, it's, I think what Jack brought to the table, design will influence pinball forever moving forward. Even if he doesn't create a game ever again, I think his purpose in both roles of putting a spotlight on pinball streaming and then changing the game for design ever, it's too good to not have in your collection if you had a choice. And I'd be happy with Metallica. The original, I actually quite like the artwork of the original. I know a lot of people didn't. I prefer the original
Dirty
Sparky as well.
Oh, okay.
But we do have a new remaster premium in the group of guys, and it's a phenomenal game. And yes, it does play different. It is easier and all that. My controversial point on this, though, I'm not a Metallica fan. I don't mind the music, but I like what they're doing, what they've done, like Chuck said, with the screen and having the clips and all that. I just feel that seeing the clips of them rocking now at like 60 years old and 50, they kind of look like those dads at school that are doing a concert now. Like, and they're all dressed in black and they look like older dads trying to be cool. I would have preferred to see content that was from like the 90s or early 2000s of Metallica, right? Like, as opposed to the current stuff. No disrespect to them, but it's just, I don't know. I find a bit of a disconnect there, but I'm not a huge Metallica fan. So for me, yeah. So I'm going to take the 2 games.
That's fair. The goal here is just to have challenging questions, right? And I'm seeing chat there's some disagreeing here in chat, which is great. That's what we want. So where are you at, Mike? What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm typically always a guy who's like, oh, I'll take the 2 games over the 1 game for every time. I mean, the Metallica, you could argue that, well, 80% of the rules are the exact same between the 2. So, and what is the difference gameplay wise between the Pro and the Premium? There's the little hammer lock and whatnot, but I really like the extra stuff in the Metallica. I like the screen, and I'm not an LE guy. I would typically not buy an LE, and the art is so good on the cabinet. It and I hate to say this, but it almost makes the original Metallica feel old. It's just like not that it's a bad game. It's an incredible game, but it's just like you look at the two together, and it's not even close. It's the new Metallica, and Foo Fighters is a fine game. I had one, and I love the game. I have no problem with it. But that new Metallica just looks awesome. And I was always a Metallica fan growing up. So,
yeah, I agree. I don't know. This is a good one. So, Ray, good job, man. Good job. Okay, that was everybody, right? So I think that was already perfect. Okay, next one. I don't actually know how many more we have left. I think we have like 2 more. We'll see. Maybe we can go a little faster, but I've had people ask me this question: single level, music pin, TNA or Beatles? TNA or Beatles? I went first. We lost our order. Who's for Enzo? Are you first? Why
I'll
not?
go first.
Go for
TNA.
it. Yeah. I mean, you don't
And
know
I
my
love
opinion
Beatles.
yet. Yeah.
I love Beatles. I think it's a great sea witch. I think it's the music can get a little bit OTT. It's the same kind of tracks, and I'm not really into it. Franchi artwork's phenomenal, but TNA is captivating, and I'm a Scott Denisi fanboy, so like the music just slaps on TNA, and it like you can play that game. If that was your only game at home, you'd never get bored of it. That's my opinion.
That's TNA's right outside of the frame. That's my 5th game. TNA's right over there. So I'll go next. TNA. I'm gonna go TNA. I'm talking with my money here. I love everything about TNA. Co-op mode alone is one of the best things about TNA. Being able to play it, super easy to explain. With all that said, when we borrowed Beatles to stream, Jared and I had a blast. We had so much fun with Beatles. The layout of Beatles it's so much fun. My only issue with Beatles is kind of the depth, the rule depth. Even at my skill level with Jared, like I saw everything in the game except for the final wizard mode, and that to me is just like, I mean, I don't know. I really had a blast with Beatles, but I also don't really care for the Beatles, the music. So I'm gonna go TNA. Like I freaking love TNA. And I understand. Nikki said, "I thought I wanted TNA till I played it. Didn't." I mean, some people I know I've hyped up TNA and then they buy it and it doesn't stay. But for other people, it's like a game that's bolted. TNA is deeper. I know. I mean, I've seen furthest I've gotten is on a single ball or a single 3-ball game or whatever. It's like Reactor 6. Okay, maybe that's not the best statement, but I'm still going TNA. All right, Mike, what are your thoughts there? Where are you at?
TNA blows Beatles out of the water in light show, in music, all that sort of stuff. I don't care for the Beatles theme. I was never a huge Beatles fan, so the theme does nothing for me. But if I can say something controversial, I don't really like the TNA gameplay, if from a standpoint that the only time I played the game is in a tournament. You're doing the same thing over and over again, locking the balls, stealing other people's locks, whatever. Great competition game. I really appreciate it, but I'm going with Beatles. One of the reasons is because you can play two completely different rule sets. You can play the Beatles rule set, and then you can switch it over to the Sea Witch rule set and play the Sea Witch rule set. So I just feel like there's more longevity, more to do in the Beatles, and the layout is a classic.
Wait, Sea Witch is on. You can play Sea Witch on.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Yeah. So
no, I never did that.
We're going to the Beast this weekend. Last year at the Beast, they had a Beatles in the Classics. So they have a Classics tournament. It's all older games. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, Beatles was in there, but the Beatles rules were the Sea Witch rules. So you're playing basically Sea Witch, and you there's an option. It's officially done by Stern. This is not like a custom thing or anything.
I had no idea.
You just go into the settings and you can play. Yeah, you can
I would've
play
loved to
both
play
the
that.
Sea Witch rules and the original rules. So it's Beatles hands down. It would have way more longevity in my collection for sure.
So Christopher Tranchi has been in chat all night, and I appreciate him. But Christopher Franchi has entered the chat. Franchi, fantastic job on the Beatles art. We talked about Evil Dead earlier. Fantastic job on that art, and we raved about it like we typically do on this stream and how much we liked Evil Dead. So thank you for being here tonight. Chuck, where are we? So we have one. Enzo's TNA, I'm TNA. Mike is Beatles. Where are you at, Chuck?
Yeah, so for me, TNA, like if that music doesn't resonate with you, like if you've played TNA and you don't like that type of music and whatever, then I can see why you wouldn't choose TNA over Beatles. But if you're into that type of music like me, I love DJ music, and the fact that Christopher Franchi literally did, or not Christopher Franchi, Scott Denisi did literally everything in that game, and he was so good at all of it, like that just blows me away. It's one of the biggest surprises I've ever seen in pinball from when I was playing it. And like he put an incredible sound system in it, so it's not even like you have to mod anything to make it shake your whole house. Like it does it on its own.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty incredible. Now layout wise, Beatles clears it by a fairly significant margin, but typically layout's a lot more important to me. But the fact that TNA is so good at the rest of the stuff and so much better than Beatles, like you said, you didn't get to the end of Beatles, like it doesn't matter. Like the end of the Beatles is boring. Like it's not a big deal. I'd much rather have that, that ninth reactor. Like yes, you're technically doing the same thing over and over again. It's getting a little bit harder as you go, whatever. But getting to the end of TNA is so much more satisfying and gratifying than getting to the end of Beatles. So there's just not much replay value for Beatles for me. And even though TNA is also simple on the surface, I want to keep playing that over and over and over again. So it's not even close for me. It's TNA.
Sick. All right, Mike, you've been voted off the island, is what I'm hearing. No. Okay, Enzo, what do we got? Where's the hot take?
I Fathom, Haggis Fathom.
Is what you'd take over both of these?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd take Pulp Fiction over both of these too.
I know. That's
okay, and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction is so good. It's really good. But all right, I think I remember.
I'd take Christopher Franchi to redesign all my games and pay to get them all reskimmed.
Okay,
he's a fantastic.
I'm sure he has all the art for them.
His art's
probably does have all the art.
He's done so many different Jaws.
Right.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Have you seen his Jaws? Like his Jaws art.
It's great.
Like Beetlejuice and all that stuff. Yeah.
All right.
I saw his He-Man too.
Here we go. So this isn't this or that. This is pick one. Pick one. It's that simple. So maybe it'll be a little shorter, but just pick one. Who we starting with? So this is the reason I picked these three. They're all Dwight. Chuck's ready. They're all Dwight, and they're all Brian Eddy. So where are we at? Who's up? Enzo just went. Mike, let's go with you.
Yeah. So I've owned a Mandalorian. I think it's an underrated game based on how people their opinion is on it now. I like the theme integration. Venom I like as well. I like all three of these games, but for me it's like not even a competition. It's Dungeons and Dragons. I have been wanting one since I started playing it on location here. I've been trying to get one, secondhand, and that's hands down a better theme for me. And I just think the game itself is fantastic.
Great answer.
Nothing wrong with the other two games. They're great games. I love Venom. I actually wouldn't mind owning a Venom either. And I've owned the Mandalorian and I've enjoyed that game as well. So, but Dungeons and Dragons, hands down, yeah.
Chuck, what are you thinking?
So currently have a Mando Premium. I have a Venom Pro. Played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. If Dwight takes another pass at Mando and does some of the stuff that I told him he needs to do on it, I think it'll be absolutely fantastic. It's already a great game. We talked about before with the yellow arrows everywhere for the modes. That's one of the biggest things I wanted him to change, Mike. I wanted him to do certain things with different colors for the modes because there's lots of cool rules in them that people don't know about because everything looks the same. So anyway, but Venom, I was pretty surprised by that. Like once I got into that, and it was, I believe, the first game where it had the save progress and everything, and I think it works perfectly in that with unlocking those characters and then going back and using them again later with your save progress. Like that's unbelievable. And again, a 2-flipper layout that I had way more fun with than I thought I was gonna have with it. So Dungeons and Dragons, I loved playing it at first, and then once I started to try and learn more about the rules and everything, the theme like wasn't keeping me into it. Like I was, traveling around, that was fun, doing different areas and beating all those things. I love the save progress part about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I think it would be very taxing and very grindy or like frustrating if you couldn't save progress on Dungeons and Dragons. So I think that helps it out a lot. But out of these three right now, assuming Mando never gets touched again, I'm gonna take Venom.
Nice. Okay, we got one D&D, one Venom. Enzo, where are we at? What are your thoughts?
It's a tough one. I really Mandalorian, like I like it. It's fine. I do think it needs some tweaking. I agree with that. It's not something, again, if space and money was an issue, I just personally don't think you'd pick it. I really enjoy Venom's gameplay and the quick ball release. I do find that just layout is just a bit meh. I do like that it moves though when you choose the characters.
Yeah.
And the leveling up is addictive as well. And it's a real fast, action, kind of feels like you're swinging, because it's like release, shoot. D&D is interesting because D&D for me, I've got D&D. The storytelling element is phenomenal. The call outs are great, captivating story, the character leveling up, build up and grabbing all your weapons. But it's not fun. Like I have a love-hate relationship with it, right? But I then stood back. I took some time away from it and I played Kong for a bit. Then I came back and I had to realize that I had to stop looking at D&D as a traditional pinball machine because it's got a lot of stop-starting elements where 2 of the shots you can only hit from locking the ball in the gelatinous cube and using your upper flipper, right? And the other shots are really hard to make. So it can be, I don't like using the word janky because it sounds negative, but like there's a lot of stopping, starting, and it's not a traditional, there's no flow, right? Like, yes, one of the ramps feels nice when you hit it and everything. It's just not fun. Like, but it's fun at the same time because of everything else, right? So, I'd have to pick Venom.
That's great. I love the honesty, man. I love the honesty.
But I do like D&D. I do like it, but I don't. It's not fun.
It's just not fun.
It's weird.
So I'm fortunate to be able to borrow these games for 2-3 weeks, and usually that's the game I play the heck out of them. And I will tell you, the games that I put the most plays on of all the games Zach's let me borrow, I'm pretty confident are Venom and D&D, and it's because of that pin save feature that it's like I can just keep chipping away. Like Venom, you're all about collecting XP, so it's just like even if I play 1 or 2 games and I get nowhere, I'm still building up my characters. So I just wanted to keep playing, and the layout. My biggest issue with Venom is I don't like the mini mode, and you got to hit. I feel like you're hitting the same 3 shots to qualify and then get into a battle. Like the battles are where it's at. The battles. Fighting Noel at the end or fighting Grendel, is that it? The dragon?
Yep.
Like so awesome. But it's like, man, you lose a battle or you get kicked out and it's like, boom, I'm hitting the same mini modes, the same shots to try to get back. So I enjoyed Venom. I think Venom's a lot better than people say it is. So in my opinion, I enjoy D&D more than Venom. But D&D is the same thing. If D&D though was just a game that I step up and play a game, I like the way it shoots, but what I really love about D&D was the save progress and getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the game. But to me, once I've beaten it 3 times or seen everything, I don't know. that's my hold up on owning it. So personally, I think I'd go Mando. I think I would own Mando. The immersion in Mando is really good. I do like the layout of D&D better than Mando, but the immersion of it's good. And it's a lot of fun, and there's co-op and whatnot. There's a lot of fun stuff. So this is tough. This is a tough one for sure. But I think I am personally leaning Mando. So is that 2 Mandos and 2 Venoms? Was that right?
Oh no, D&D.
You did D&D. Okay,
and,
okay.
Two Venoms. Yeah,
2 Venoms. All right. That's a tough one. All right. This one's maybe even tougher. We got two left. So this was Mike's idea. Initially, I had 6 Elwins, no Bond 60th. And my thought was pick 3. And Mike's like, no. Let's do two clusters. And the way that these are arranged is based off of Pinside ratings. So it's Pinside ratings of right now Godzilla is the top, and then it's Jurassic Park. And then after that, okay, I think it's Iron Maiden, and then it's Jaws, and then we got Avengers and Kong when it comes to ratings. So that's the way it's arranged. So do you go left cluster, Jaws, Godzilla, Avengers? Or you go right cluster, King Kong, Jurassic Park, Iron Maiden? Let's start with Enzo. Why not? Why not? Why not? You already said Avengers is his best game. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I have to say I'd take Jaws, Godzilla, Avengers.
Jaws, okay. And is there why? Like, what's the standout?
Okay, so Jaws easy, nostalgia. All the video clips are there. The call outs, the music, the theme integration. Godzilla is fun. Like, sure, it's, I think it's a little bit overrated, but it is fun, and it's easy for everyone to play. The kids love it. The building, there's plenty of pinball moments in it. I do think Avengers is his best layout and shooter in relation to obviously Kong now has just come out, but it is deep. Like, it is very deep. The code I wish was a little bit different, sure. But it is fun to play. I play Avengers a lot, and not with the intention of trying to finish. Even if I just do 50 mil and I drain after 3 balls, I don't care. Like, I've had a good time shooting it.
Yeah.
So I'd have to take those. Yeah.
Okay, left side, got it. So I'm up next. I'm gonna go left side as well. I mean, to me, it's like just the fact that Jaws and Godzilla are in the same group. It's kind of a no-brainer for me. It would be a lot harder if the 2 of those were split up. If I could have my pick, I would go Jaws, Godzilla, King Kong. That's what I would want. That's the 3 that I would pick personally. But with that said, I mean, I've streamed all these games and I had a blast with all these games. Like, the 6 of these games are so good, like so good all around. But if I'm gonna go Jaws, Godzilla, Avengers, with my asterisk of I'm selling Avengers and buying King Kong. So yeah, Mike, is this hard? Please be hard for you.
Yeah,
I want this to be a challenge.
This is very hard for me. It's tough because I have real nostalgia for Iron Maiden. It's the first new in-box game we bought. We still have it. Typically, we go through games quite frequently here, and it's stuck around for the last 8 years since we got it. The week it came out. So it's arguably his best game in the house's opinion. Yes. Yeah. Jaws is probably his easiest game, I would say. Easy to make your way through.
Neil McRae is calling me out for that. He said I picked the easy games. Yeah.
Well. Yeah, Jaws is the easiest. Avengers. I mean, I don't have enough experience on Kong. Avengers might be the most difficult to understand and play. Jurassic Park and Godzilla are right there in the middle with it's like they're the perfect level of difficulty and depth that this is real. I'm gonna have to go with the left one, and it's based purely on I like the look of the LE versions of them more than I like the look on the ones on the right.
Interesting. You went purely cosmetic.
That's it. Purely cosmetic because I mean, they're all fantastic games. Yeah. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, if somebody dropped the 3 games on the right off on your doorstep, no one would be crying. But Chuck, tell us, are you picking? Are we going all left? Where are we thinking? What do we got, Chuck?
I might be the one detractor. Now, if you were to, I think you said Jaws and Iron Maiden were the ones that were linked up in the standings right now on Pinside.
They're pretty.
If you were to tell me if you were gonna swap those two, it would be right all day for me.
So King Kong, Jurassic Park, and Jaws.
Yeah.
That's your okay.
Yeah. So it might just be because I played the living piss out of Godzilla, so that kind of drops that down a little bit for me. I still love Jaws. When I take that off location, I'm not selling it. I'm gonna bring it back home and play it a ton more. Iron Maiden is definitely my least favorite out of all of them, but yeah, I'm still taking the rate. Like Jurassic Park is just so good. I'd love to have that back in the house again. Kong, just for the fact that it shoots so well, and we can trust that when it gets to the finish line, it's going to be just as good as the rest of these.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking the right hand side for sure, and then I'm going to sell Iron Maiden and get Jaws.
Sell Iron Maiden to Mike. He'll take it. And then...
yeah.
That's perfect. Okay, good. I'm glad. I wanted it to be a challenge. That was the goal. Okay, I think we are on our last one. Okay, this or that. What's going on here is Spike 3. Spike 3, if we could decide for Spike 3 right now that every Spike 3 game is either going to have expression lights, every single one of them, so not just music. So every Spike 3 will have expression lights, or every Spike 3 will have a larger screen. Which are we going for? Expression lights or larger screen? Let's start with Chuck. Why not?
Okay, this is easy. Lights. You don't look at the screen, people. The people watching you play are watching the screen. There's no reason for that screen to be any bigger. What is it going to be bigger by 2-3 inches? Like, who cares?
Okay.
Like, and you're possibly going to take speakers away from me and make those smaller. Like, where are you going to put those? Like, the sound is extremely important to the game, and almost just as important as the light show. So, if you're telling me expression lighting is in every game from now on, that is just so easy to pick. I'm going expression lights.
Okay, cool. Enzo. I didn't hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry.
There we go. Perfect.
Can we have both?
Why not both? Yeah.
Controversial take. Can we have both?
This or that. This or that.
No,
yeah.
I will say something controversial. I will pick expression lights, but I don't like the way expression lights look. Like I don't like those holes.
That's fair.
If I didn't see like if it was hidden and the lights lit up, and I just don't like that cutout, the windows. It's a bit distracting sometimes, but I do think expression lighting definitely brings in awesome immersion, especially like on games like Metallica, for instance, and John Wick.
Yeah. Okay, I will say. So if I have to compare Stern expression lights to the hot rails in a JJP to the new HAL system in Dune, if I had to put a light system in every game, the HAL system in Dune. The HAL system in Dune is the best version, in my opinion. Now, for music pins, though, like if you're playing GNR and you get into a song mode and like having the hot rails just go nuts is awesome. So I do think you probably have a better like crazy light in your face experience with expression lights or hot rails over the HAL system. But I think if I'm going to say for every game, the HAL system. So with all that said, I'm still going expression lights. The screen to me, if anything, I wish they went instead of 16:9. I wish they stretched it more like CGCs and go. I mean, I'd be okay if they went back to DMD, like straight dot animations for graphics, in my opinion. So I'm going expression lights. I just wanted to mix it up here at the end, but we'll see. Mike, where are you at?
Well, I am almost in complete agreement with Chuck. The screen you don't look at. I probably look at the screen less than I should as a player. Really, I feel like the screen is only there for people who are watching you play. You're watching the gameplay. I think the expression lights are underrated because they, as a streamer, I appreciate them because I had a Led Zeppelin with them on it. You don't need pin stadium lights, to stream. A good lighting on a game is essential for streaming, and the expression lights provide all that light and more. And it's better I haven't had much experience with Dune, so I can't say anything about that. But I think Expression Lights is better than the Jersey Jack. The Jersey Jack lights are fantastic, but they are front and center and very bright and can distract you. Whereas I don't even notice the lights. I just notice the glow from the Expression Lights, and I think it's such an amazing effect that it's Expression Lights for me too.
Okay, so I think this was the only one out of the 10 we did that we all
We all
agreed.
agree.
So maybe this was the only one that was too easy. And even in chat, I feel like everybody.
Can I pick pin lights?
Pin lights. I've heard really good things about pin lights. I haven't tried them. I've heard really good things. But
If I could put them on every game, I would.
they're that good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. That's a game I made up. Once again, completely unique. Had no outside influence on that game. So I think it's a decent game. This or that. Maybe it'll catch on. But that was a lot of fun, and we were 30 minutes over. So at that, let's go ahead and plug it up. So we'll do the same thing. Mike, plug away.
Well, thanks again for having me. This was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these, and you can catch us on Pinballers. We are back streaming semi-regularly, typically Monday, Wednesdays right now in the afternoons. We will be going to the Beast this weekend, starting tomorrow, driving to Buffalo. Go Bills. And that's it. We're just looking forward to seeing a bunch of friends we haven't seen in a while and competing and having fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mike, for being on. Enzo, go for it.
Guys, thanks for having me. It's been great. Always love watching Flipping Out, so it's awesome to be on it. Gonzo's Flipperama. I'm not Gonzo. Chris is Gonzo, and I just help out in the channel, but it is a very unique take on the content that Chris does, and I love helping and being on the channel and involved. And we're going to probably start doing some live streams because Gonzo's never done live streams. So
cool.
I was doing Pinball Underground, and it's just too hard to do 2 channels. So we're just going to focus in and go all in on Gonzo. So if you don't subscribe, please subscribe.
Yes, and we all eagerly will look forward to the Mike Vinacore interview that you just did. So hopefully in the next few days. So subscribe to that if you're not already subscribed, because it's coming. That should be awesome. So Enzo, thank you so much for being on. First time. Appreciate you.
No worries.
Thanks a bunch. All right, Chuck.
All right, yeah. So
he's froze.
oh, dang it! I was keeping an eye on it to make sure it didn't happen.
No,
again.
you're good.
All right, so follow me on SDTM Pinball on Twitch. So if you like tournament streams, definitely follow me there. Again, not all that frequent anymore, but please follow me so you can get notifications when we go live. I'll try and do some like individual streams like I used to here and there, but also follow me, Chuckwurt, on YouTube if you like tutorials.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I do a lot of these mini tutorials. It's only 2 minutes for every game. Just boom, boom, boom with a telestrator on the game telling you all the quick tips and tricks. So if you need to learn a game really quick, those are great. So follow me there if you want to check those out. But yeah, thanks everybody for having me on. And yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Good. Yes. Well, I appreciate all 3 of you guys, and I appreciate chat for staying with us. We went a little long here, but this was a lot of fun. And yeah, my name's Joel, like always.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. And yeah, next week, I don't know what we're doing. We'll probably stream a game. I don't know what, but we'll have Jared back on. We'll stream something. But this was a ton of fun. So Triple Drain, I don't know when we're recording next, but check out Triple Drain. Check out Flipping Out. Obviously, all the games that we showed tonight, if you want to buy any of them, new or used, check out Zach at Flipping Out. He will treat you right if you're in the US. If not, figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate you 3. Appreciate chat. Everybody have a great night, and hopefully we will see everybody next week. All right. Bye,
Take care, everybody. Bye.